Jesus fucking Christ, man. All I'm trying to do is just put fucking content out, and yet I fucking can't because somebody somewhere in my fucking net decides to say, oh, we're just gonna silence him by fucking throttling his fucking net. Don't think I don't pay attention to this shit. It's ironic that I go over 40 fucking minutes, no goddamn drop frames, immediately start covering this shit, and I get fucking throttled. Over 20,000 drop frames, and I try to launch my shit multiple fucking times. Whoever the fuck's in my net, get the fuck out. Don't think I don't know what the fuck's going on. Fuck's sake, man. And the ironic thing is, my bit rate is through the fucking roof right now. I'm at 51,000. And I have it set for 6. Compress that shit down. Fucking hell, I have never in my 11 years in content creation ever been targeted that fucking hard. Never. In my 11 years have I ever been targeted that fucking hard whenever I'm covering something. It means I pissed somebody off. It means I'm doing my job. Man, whoever I'm pissed off views me as a fucking threat so goddamn bad that they want to overload my system. It's ironic that I had shit set at 6,000 kilobytes per second, which is 6 megabytes per second on the upload, which is a perfect spot. It's that sweet spot because I don't need to put the shit at 7, 8, 9, 10,000 for the upload. I don't. But I find it ironic that I check my settings, the shit's at 50 fucking thousand. It's no wonder the feed got fucking dropped. Let's see. Fucking hell, I've never been through that. Oh no, I still stream to Twitch. This I just don't stream to Twitch. The amount of stuff and the graphic nature of what I'm covering today and the shit show that's been going on with ICE in Minneapolis and the radical leftist Hassan and all this other bullshit. There's a reason. There's a reason why I choose to stream to YouTube and Rumble for podcast specific style items only. Because I have more control over on stuff on these two than I can over on Twitch. And I know what I can get away with on all platforms. And I know which audiences lurk more on certain platforms. And it's hysterical whenever you point out the inconsistencies of their main guy when he's like, you know what? Why? I don't know why I got banned. I don't understand what I did wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Motherfucker, you use an egregious term to identify people. But no, like somebody somehow adjusted my settings to where my bit rate was at 10,000. I was pushing 50,000. I'm like, no. Absolutely not. But Mike from PA makes a good statement right here. Twitch aims to be a place where everyone can come together and shared community experience. This vision is threatened when people experience harmful rhetoric and abuse on Twitch. Ironic because with Hassan, he spews hateful rhetoric and he calls out so many issues and so much while skirting around. And I'm not even joking, dude. Like, bro. It's not even funny. Right here. This is the clip. His words for fucking Bantam. Thank you. His words for fucking Bantam.
Suck my dick to all the fucking Israel dick riders out there. You fucking rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. You fucking run around going, oh my God, Israel first, Israel first. Why are you tying this back to Palestine? You fucking rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. You fucking rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. You fucking rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. This is another big suck my dick to all the fuck.
Why did I get banned? I don't know. Why did you get banned, Hassan? Seems pretty clear to me. Yeah, because that's a good take. If I'm his partner manager, I'm requesting somebody new. He's Turkish. Oh, don't worry. I have the Wikipedia page already pulled up. Yeah. Let's see. Twitch support and their staff that watches Hassan had that clip for more than a day. They got wind that he is going to an ice out of LA protest and interview a Zoran-like mayoral candidate, Ray Hong, and decided to ban him, which is 100% pro-ICE. It's incorrect. He was banned the day of, but cry harder. I don't know. Anyways, before we pull this up, and before we watch this, and I point out the inconsistencies on stuff, let's talk about asshole here in a little bit. Hassan Piker, Hassan Abi, was suspended from Twitch on January 29, 2026 for reportedly using the term Zionist pigs while discussing government surveillance and the arrest of pro-Palestinian protesters. Latest suspension details. The incident. During a recent broadcast, Piker used the inflammatory phrase while critiquing law enforcement handling of the student and activist groups. Let's see. Twitch's policy. While Twitch has not issued a detailed public statement, the ban is widely attributed to violations of their hateful conduct and harassment policy, which prohibits dehumanizing language based on protected characteristics like religion or nationality. Duration. According to an automated tracking from streamer bans, suspension began January 29, 2026. Most of his previous first offense style bans for speech have lasted between 24 hours and 1 week. This latest incident comes amid growing tension between Piker and the platform. He recently expressed significant burnout, stating in early 2026 that he hates Twitch streaming and may significantly reduce his hours or quit entirely later this year. If he quits, I will laugh. No, this is nowhere near like the Charlie Kirk incident. I will give him credit on that. He did not, as much as he could not stand Charlie Kirk, he did not show the shooting on his broadcast. I will give him that credit. And only that one fucking credit. Here we go. Life and education. He was born to Turkish parents in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and grew up in Istanbul and was raised as Muslim. His father's family immigrated to Turkey from Thessaloniki and Crete, Greece. His father, I'm not even going to try to say his name, is a political scientist and economist who served on the board of directors and vice president of Sabancı Holding and who is a founding member of the Conservative Future Party in Turkey. His mother, can't even pronounce her name, is an art and architectural historian teaching at the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Let's see. He was born in 91. So early on, still living with his parents and everything else. For 5 years, he was with the Young Turks. 2 years, he was with early Twitch and the Young Turks, and present on Twitch in 2020. Oh, it's even worse. This fool never worked a real job, has such an ideological style of way of thinking, doesn't give a fuck about the country he resides in and the freedoms that he's afforded, and all the other shit as well. If I was to shake his hand, I'm pretty sure I would be able to feel baby smooth skin and no calluses, no scar tissue right here, nothing. Here's another thing. I'm gonna full screen this, turn the camera off, and then I'm gonna come back and we're going to talk about the inconsistencies here. All right. I know it's a little bit grainy. Bear with me.
It is. Let's see how sweaty I am underneath this. Ooh, goddamn! Look at this. God damn, son. I need to change my fucking shirt.
Okay. Most people are like, damn, is it that hot in LA? Let's see. This was the 30th, right? What was the temperature yesterday in Los Angeles? It was 83 degrees. So yeah, he could have sweat a little bit. You know, I'll give him that. You know, I'll give him that. But here's the thing I have an issue with, right? Takes it off. Now, when you sweat while wearing any style flak vest, first and foremost, it doesn't just compile right here where the sappy plate is. And those are level 2 plates. Those are not thick. Just to let you know. Those are level 2. Those are not that thick. But Marine, how would you know? Oh, I don't know, because I've actually worn in LBV a load-bearing vest where all 4 of my sappies, the front, back, and both sides, weighed a minimum of 40 pounds. Those were level 4s I was wearing. So the sappy plate, you know, or plate that he has in here is probably ceramic or, you know, some shit like that. Press doesn't get the best. All right. So we're gonna go here up to about here. Got a little perspiration here. No perspiration here. No perspiration here. I don't see any type of wetness on his arms, like no sweat. But that could be, him cooling off from being on the inside. Let's go ahead and go here. You would think that if you're wearing a plate and you're sweating, all this right here would also be wet. You would have more sweat in your hair than anything. If anything, this just looks like you poured water on yourself and put the fucking thing on. Like, it's for theater. And they're like, oh, well, you don't know. You weren't in LA. You've never won a flag fest. Hey, motherfuckers, I served 9 years of my life to this goddamn country, the Marine Corps. I was stationed over at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina for 5 fucking years, where the humidity there would make you fucking cry, you LA little bootlicking fucks. On top of that, I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California, where it was so fucking dry, my knuckles cracked over. Anyways. But I will give him, some sense of credit here. Bravo on actually wearing it correctly. Because most people, they do not wear this shit correctly. They don't. Where he has it, where it's going correct, it's in the middle of his shoulders, it's snug right here. I will say, bravo. You actually wore something right for once. And one other thing I can ask, who the fuck goes to LA wearing a flag vest with long sleeves? So that has me thinking this is for theater. Let's see. Are there waist straps?
It is. Let's see how sweaty I am underneath this.
Right here. He took it off. Yep. Right here's drenched as well. But trust me, when you sit down, you want those unclipped. You want those unclipped because they will pinch the fuck out of you and they hurt. Those clips hurt. I'm about to tell you, even wearing fucking light armor like that, that shit hurts. That shit'll hurt digging in your skin. But I'll give him credit. Where it was laying on his shoulders, good placement. Everything else, but I think that's staged. I mean, if it's not staged, show me a video where he was actually in LA wearing that shit. If I see the video, I'll say, hey, I was in the room. Till then, I think this shit's staged. I'm man enough and I'm mature enough to say, oh, hey, I fucked up. I was in the wrong. But, as I said, perception is part of reality. This looks staged. Now, moving on. That's done for here. Let's see. And I had to utilize Firefox for this. Minimize. Over. Yep. Okay. There we go. I want y'all to listen to some of this, and I want to preface this by saying some people need an education use better words. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess I get to be the dick today, don't I? You ran into Border Patrol, didn't you? Got some of that BP pecker? Yeah, see, that's what happens when you fucking resist and you pull firearms. You get your ass shot, motherfucker.
He's talking about Alex Preddy. I want y'all to keep everything they're saying about, oh, he pulled a firearm, 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 he brandished his weapon, he brandished his weapon, he brandished his weapon. Keep all that in mind, all right? I want y'all to keep that in mind, okay? Just keep all that in mind. All of that.
How many times we gotta tell you inbred low IQ cocksuckers to stop interfering with law enforcement? And if you're a dumbass illegal, you've been told to self-deport.
Ooh, welcome to the era of fuck around and find out. You brought it on your fucking self.
And of course, we got all these liberal creators and dumbass fucking liberal media out here pandering to the fucking criminals again. You know what blows my mind about you cocksuckers, though? You had no problem rounding up Americans within an instant, plastering us all over the fucking news, and bringing charges upon all of us for a guided fucking tour.
He's talking about January 6th. First and foremost, homeboy, that was not a guided tour. Second, the amount of protesters that were there should have never once set foot on the Capitol grounds. Third, it has been found that federal agents were agitators of the crowd. Fourth, whenever you want to actually start asking questions, ask yourself why Roy Epps was telling people you need to go inside. Fifth, how come you did not want to showcase the people's faces that actually grabbed the people trying to break open the windows that were being pulled away? And last but not least, if you really want to go that route, ask yourself how come Nancy Pelosi refused to let the National Guard do their fucking job to secure the Capitol. I'll fucking wait, homeboy.
But you got a problem with us rounding up illegals that invaded our fucking country. You can't make this shit up.
It's not that I have a problem with ICE doing their job. It's how they're going about doing their job. ICE needs better training. And there's something in here as well. Well, you'll understand why I say that. They don't de-escalate. They don't ask people for, license and, whatever. They instantly say, get out the car, which I'm going to be fucking 100%. If I'm ever targeted by ICE or DHS or, HSI or anybody like that, I'm going to tell them straightforward to, 1, get the fuck away from my car. 2, get your fucking supervisor here. 3, get a county cop over here. And 4, you are not getting any questions out of me. Under the First Amendment, I'm telling you to shut the fuck up. Under the 4th, you do not have authorization to get in my car. And under the 5th, I am not answering any questions. And pertaining to the castle law, if you try to intimidate or to breach this perimeter of the doors, you will be deemed as an intruder, and I will do whatever I need to ensure my safety. Very, very, very simple. And I know some people are like, oh, internet tough guy, blah, blah, blah. No, I 100% mean it. There's a difference between talking the talk and actually backing it up, especially whenever your county has you on a do not touch list. When you're on a do not touch list and they have to have more than one person present just to question you, then fucking come talk to me.
And I'm so sick of you fucking libtards. Oh, it's due process. I don't think you quite understand. They don't get constitutional rights. They don't belong in this country. Also,
correct, but incorrect. They don't get due process because they're not legal U.S. citizens. However, if they're trying to go about getting the documentations and stuff needed to become U.S. citizens, his take on that is incorrect. And I cannot wait for his company or whatever business he does with to implode.
Also, they skipped due process on the way in, so why the fuck would I give it to them on the way out? And I didn't see any of this crying when Obama was mass deporting them by the fucking millions, so sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
He's correct on that one.
So I'm going to tell all of you low IQ cocksuckers now, if you want to survive this bullshit, just go home. Stay out of their fucking way. Let them do their business and you mind your fucking own. To be honest with you, you should be lucky it's just law enforcement out there and not we the people. I love all of you.
Oh, what? You gonna do something big, dude? Bro. There are more unregistered firearms than you think. Like, I'm 100% being real. There are more people that have unregistered firearms in their vehicles than you ever fucking think.
Well, the Dev Branch.
Come on, there we go. I had to close out a few tabs. And he's like, oh, we the people. And he's pointing to him. I'm like, you really gonna do something? Dude, you look like you couldn't fucking navigate your way through a shithole. Shut the fuck up, you redneck idiot. Oh. All right. I brought this up for a reason.
Lady.
This dude, the ICE agent behind him, he said, if you yell at me, I will silence your voice, meaning he'll just kill people. It's like, no, dude, that's not how you, that's not how it works.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen,
But there's also another reason why I pulled this up.
and Republicans, and this motherfucker who is Edgardo Gonzalez, hailing from Puerto Rico, but now lives in Miami because of course he does. And this is the ICE agent who yesterday told a peaceful protester that if he raises his voice, he's going to erase his voice. And I'm just wondering, Puerto Rico, do you guys own this motherfucker? Do you really own this guy? As a lot of you guys know, I live in Puerto Rico. So I know Puerto Rico, and I know Puerto Ricans, and I can tell you, they don't like shit like this. And you know why? Because Puerto Ricans are so used to having a boot on their fucking neck, specifically the government's boot, whether it's the federal government or their local government here in Puerto Rico. That government walks all over the people here, and he's just used to it. So now he wants to remove the boot from his Puerto Rican neck and shove it all the way down his throat and get a good fucking taste of it, you boot-licking fucking race traitor cuck. Yeah, and that's what I think about you. Why don't you come down here to Puerto Rico and erase my voice, motherfucker? I would love to see you try that shit. Or just come down here to Puerto Rico and talk some shit to your fellow neighbors about how you're going to erase their voice if they happen to disagree, if they happen to raise it too high for your standards. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. These motherfucking pieces of shit have been emboldened by the biggest piece of shit. They think they don't have any rules. Okay, if you guys don't want to play by the rules, don't be surprised when the rest of us decide we don't want to play by the fucking rules too. Get the fuck out of here, you slimy little fuck.
Okay, a lot to digest here. One, the dude's an idiot because Puerto Rico is actually a U.S. territory and Puerto Ricans are technically Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Second, the dude just is all fucking talk. He's like, you wouldn't say that to me, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you, if he stood face to face, you would have your fucking head down and you would cower. Third, you don't have the balls to actually back up any of the fucking claim you say because the pause in your voice gives hesitant to what you really want to fucking do. Fourth, he's a fucking American citizen, you dumbass. And you don't think that people are not monitoring your stuff? Get the fuck out of here. It's why I don't post hot political takes because I'm tired of being put on a fucking watch list. I'm still on 3 of them, by the way. My name got removed 1 because of time due diligence and time constraints. All right. Moving on. I bring this up. Texas Penal Code, Chapter 9, 9.32. Deadly force in defense of a person. A person is justified in using deadly force against another if the actor would be justified in using force against the other under Section 9.31. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another person when the degree of the actor reasonably believes force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of lawful or of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary described by this subsection is presumed to be reasonable if the actor, 1, knew or had a reason to believe the person against whom the force was used unlawfully and with force entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully and with force the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. Unlawfully and with force removed or was attempting to remove unlawfully and with force the actor from the actor's habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. And C, was committing or attempting to commit aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. Those 3 points right here are key in what I'm about to say about the show. This happened in Bryan, Texas. Listen to the homeowner.
Get the fuck out of this motherfucker now.
Hey, don't be coming up on me. Stay right there.
You're my property,
Stay right there.
I'm telling you now. Get the fuck out of my property. You're violating my Fourth Amendment. Get the fuck out of my fucking house.
He has every right to tell them to get the fuck off his property because, one, they're trespassing right now. There's no insinuating circumstances. They're not telling them that they're looking for somebody. 2, they have no fucking due process right here by not presenting a warrant. And 3, they're lucky he didn't have them at gunpoint. And I'm 100% honest. Oh, well, if you have them at gunpoint, then you... No, the fuck they wouldn't. They'd be telling him to drop the gun. They'd be dropping the gun. Because as soon as he has one at gunpoint, the other one would have the other at gunpoint. And it would be a fatal 4-way. 4 of them would be dead. So they're lucky he didn't have them at gunpoint. He's lucky he didn't have them at gunpoint. But they are overstepping and egregiously violating his rights.
I'm not fucking with you. All 3 of y'all.
It's him?
Get the
Oh, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's good.
Get the fuck out of my property now. Now.
No, we're just looking for someone
No, that's fine. Get the fuck out of my fucking house. All of y'all. You too. Now.
You better back up.
I better not do shit. You're my fucking property. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna violate my court?
Back up.
You violate my court? I got my second.
It's okay.
What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna violate my court?
Back up.
You violate my court? I got my second. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna violate my court?
Back up.
You violate my court? I got my second.
What the fuck you gonna do? You violated my 4th. I got my 2nd.
It's okay.
Get the fuck out of my property. Get the fuck out of my property. I will shoot you the fuck down out of my property. Get the fuck out now. Now. Get the fuck out of my fucking property. Back the fuck up.
Your pressure gonna go up.
I don't give a fuck about it. Ronnie, let me the fuck go now.
Immediately. First question, honest question. At what point is it illegal to shoot them for not complying? And I posted this. Immediately, I'm telling, hey, bitch boys, I need your supervisor now. Because my first question is, why are they in my property without a warrant? Without notifying me of anything going on? I had an incident several years ago. And I wish Mixer was around because you could verify this shit. Where I can hear all clear, all good. I grabbed my gun. I grabbed the flashlight. Hands up or you die. It was a fucking Houston police officer in my backyard. Didn't even know he was there. Told him to throw his credentials to me. Keep his hands interlocked on his head. As soon as I identified as him, I holstered my weapon. I said, I apologize for putting it at gunpoint. I'm just glad I didn't have to pull the trigger. And he's like, you know you can get in trouble. I was like, you can get in more trouble. You trespassing on my property. You didn't present a warrant to be back here. If anything, get your captain out here tomorrow. Captain shows up. He's like, he asks, how come you have my deputy at gunpoint? And I asked how come he was in my backyard without notifying the homeowners or the people in this dwelling and without a warrant. Good point. doesn't give you the excuse. Like, I don't know who the fuck's back there. There was no patrol car in my front yard, like in the street. I don't know who's back there. I don't know if he's impersonating. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to fucking do. Moving on.
To address.
I want everybody to listen to this dude. He makes solid points. There's nothing wrong with what he says. Just shut the fuck up for once and listen.
The oldest motherfucking demon in the books. I'm tired of hearing this shit. I opened up the motherfucking social media this morning, and the first thing I see is how can people that live on stolen land be upset about immigration? Here's the thing. When you go to war, you have a winner and you have a fucking loser. Everybody always wants to complain about the losers. You lost. Shut the fuck up. If you were the winner, you would have all of Texas. The Indians would still be running shit. They are not, because they lost. You lost in a game of warfare, just like Hitler lost. You want to glorify it for the Jews and make it all pretty because everybody came in and beat Hitler in war. And what happened? Hitler and all his shit was dismantled. They were declared the losers. They were conquered. When Alexander the Great walked around and conquered all of Europe, he didn't steal the land, he conquered it. Do not get mad or upset. Buck your feelings, you got conquered. That's simple. The Mexicans lost to the white people. The Indians lost to the white people. The niggas was controlled by white people. You lost in war. It's that simple. There is no changing the narrative. There is no fixing it. It is exactly as it is. So stop all the they stole this or they stole that. They were better at it. You're just mad because white people figured out how to weaponize gunpowder before anybody else, and they took that shit and ran with it. If you don't like it, fuck your feelings. Facts are facts.
I mean, I'm part Scottish, I'm part Irish, and I have Native American blood. He's not wrong. There is not a single statement that he said that's wrong. What does this one say? This land was stolen many, many times from one group of natives to another before we even got here. Conquered. It's not stolen. It was conquered. And if it wasn't conquered, it was bought. The Louisiana Purchase. So, it ain't stolen. And if people were so pissed off and so bent out of shape about, you know, others encroaching on stuff, they should have found a fucking way to win. They didn't. They lost. They got conquered. This is the most ironic fucking take I've ever seen. And it goes to prove that criminals don't like being shot twice.
Has plagued the cities across Ohio, including here in central Ohio, is gun violence.
A new study just released is now unearthing if the Buckeye State's constitutional carry law impacted gun violence in cities. We thank you for joining us today for NBC4 at 5. I'm Jared Smollett.
And I'm Jennifer Bullock. The study.
And also, assailants and, you know, criminals tend to target those that are defenseless.
It was published today by the Center for Justice Research through a partnership between Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost's office and Bowling Green State University.
I remember back on June 13th, the state began allowing citizens to carry a concealed weapon without a permit. The study looked at gun violence in the state's 8 largest cities. 6 saw less gun crimes after the law changed. The data spans from June 2021 to June 2023.
And one of those cities that saw a decrease was the city of Columbus. Before the law, the rate per 1,000 people of crimes was 10.79. It dropped to nearly 9.5%. Other cities that saw decreases are Cleveland, Toledo, Akron, Parma, and Canton. The cities that featured a jump are Cincinnati and Dayton. NBC4 spoke with Attorney General Dave Yost today, who says this proves those statements are not true.
So I think this is worth watching as we go to the future to see if it remains the same. But this is scientifically a good piece of work, and it definitively says that.
It definitively says constitutional carry, meaning that people can carry at will for their protection. Pretty fucking simple. Criminals tend to think twice when attacking. All right. We're going to touch on all the political shit now. And yes, I'm aware it is fucking bright. Because X or Twitter or fucking whatever. I guess I reached a threshold with the amount of tabs that I can have. And let's blow this up real quick. Ironic. Just listen.
Into your net worth, you and your husband's net worth, they're claiming that it's risen rapidly. What's your response to what they're saying?
And you notice she's trying to speed up. She's trying to move because of the question. She's trying to get out of there. This lady right here looking at him like, get out of my way. Trying to block you.
Do you think they'll find anything in their investigation into your net worth?
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar avoiding questions about her net worth that has risen astronomically during her time in Congress. President Trump wants answers, writing on Truth Social, quote, Congresswoman
the only way to get rich in politics is to be corrupt.
Ilhan Omar is worth over $30 million. There is no way such wealth could have been accumulated legally while being paid the salary of a politician. She should be investigated for financial and political crimes, and that investigation should start now. Saturday Night America anchor Kayleigh McEnany joins me now. It is amazing. When she started in 2019, she had a negative net worth. Her personal household net worth has gone from negative to $30 million, and her husband's Rose Lake Capital firm, a consulting firm, has gone from just dollars up to $25 million in value.
Yes. So what's interesting, you have her husband, Wynette, who started Rose Lake Capital, to your point. So Rose Lake Capital, you noted $42 and then skyrocketed to millions within a year. And these are according to public filings that she put forward, according to documents in a lawsuit.
Her own numbers.
Yes. And it caught the attention of, listen to this, not Trump's FBI, Biden's FBI. So in 2024, Biden's FBI raised questions about this skyrocketing wealth.
And yet, nobody did any investigation. Why do they not do any investigations? Why is it that they continue to let shit skirt underneath the rug?
Of these business decisions, and even Wall Street experts say, why is a former political consultant, that's what Wynette was, running a massive financial firm that, by the way, we've never heard of, and we're on Wall Street and we think we would have heard of it? A lot of questions.
Not to mention they also have
Wall Street's
a
biased, but
winery that has
that's
also
true.
experienced a similar, in California, by the way, that has experienced a similar explosion. Real quick, I want to play Tom Emmer, House Majority Whip, talking about this earlier this week.
This needs to be investigated. She was right at the center of the Somali fraudster operation called Feeding Our Future, the $250 million fraud case, largest pandemic fraud case in the country. Those are her people, and they're the ones that donated to her campaign. So Jamie Comer and the Oversight Committee are investigating this and looking into this, and this needs to be exposed.
Tom Emmer is Majority Whip because Republicans control the House. They also control the Senate, and they control the White House. Are they going to get to the bottom of this?
I certainly hope so. And by the way, I just note that winery you mentioned,
Nope,
one of
they
the
ain't gonna
wines
get
is
to the
called the
bottom of
Devil's
shit
Lie.
because it's everybody's hands in.
But look, they say House Ethics or House Oversight.
Everybody's hands is in everybody else's pockets. They're not going to do shit. They ain't. Oh, we're going to investigate this. We're going to investigate this. Oh, we're going to stop this.
Tell the truth.
Please.
Sometimes they do, and maybe they don't. We'll see. But House Ethics or House Oversight is going to look into it. But look, it's time. To your point, we have the House now, and I'm hopeful and bullish that maybe Republicans will overperform in the midterms, but that's not a guarantee. So now is the moment for House Oversight to look into it, for the FBI to look into it. Kash Patel's been doing a phenomenal job. I have no doubt that they are. But look, the time is ticking, especially for Congress.
Do you get the sense? I feel like Ilhan Omar has, a lot of, she's been out there saying crazy things about the fraud in Minnesota, talking about the ICE agents. All of it sort of makes me wonder if she's not. I don't know. I just get the sense that maybe the walls are closing in on her. Maybe she realizes that a lot of these questions are being raised.
This is her district that she oversees.
Yeah.
We have all seen the billions of dollars of fraud. We're just now scratching the surface of it all. And I'll tell you, my producer, he's amazing, Jake, has been watching Somali TV all week. So we have all these new clips from...
That the dude that squirted her with the shit? Let's hit that in.
Keith Ellison and Jacob Fry. And these elected officials, there's a lot of questions. What they knew, when they knew about it, and why they didn't act.
Because, like I said, there's rules for thee, not for me. All right. What's critical snapped on Trump's admin for their approach with ICE and pleads with the government to stop deporting illegals and focus on arresting people with the government has said. Moist claims there are far worse people in the White House or ICE itself, so the admin should go after them instead. And as you can see, this is a narrative for somebody. I don't even know if this person's real or not because you can just... I don't even know. Anyways, let's listen to this.
This point that they're trying to beat into the empty minds of a lot of people that are trying so hard to justify it is that the only people being arrested and targeted by ICE are rapists and pedophile illegal aliens, which is just not the case. There definitely have been rapists and pedophiles that have been snatched up in all of this, and those rapists and pedophiles that have been caught and taken away, that's good. They shouldn't be out there breathing the free air. Great. But that's not all that's happening here. You could also right now march into the White House and arrest everyone in the White House and you would get a ton of rapists and pedophiles. Why isn't that happening? If the goal is getting rapists and pedophiles off of American soil, thrown in the slammer, taking them away from society, why is it only just walking through the fucking streets of Minnesota trying to do it? You would get significantly more rapists and pedophiles if you took ICE and brought them to the White House. An administration is actively covering up a massive child sex trafficking operation and letting tons of evil people get away with this, tons of clients. So if the goal is to get this kind of evil out of this country, why would you not start with what is provably a spot that has so many of them? Also, that belief of like a secret pedophile ring was a very popular one among Trump voters for the longest time. And now that it has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be real, legitimate reality, they are now just ignoring it. They have been proven correct that there was a huge pedophile ring of these powerful politicians, but because some of their favorite politicians are potentially wrapped up in it, they just want to drop it and forget about it. Absolutely unhinged, by the way.
So him calling for people to be investigated in the White House, honestly, I agree. I also would like to 100% see every single career politician's net worth investigated, to include every single sitting member of Congress, to be audited, as well as any of their dealings in anything, to include a formal investigation on everything that they've done. I agree with Moist here.
Possess.
1 second. Well, that's at the wrong tab. Yeah. All right. This dude lays it out. All right, this is Graham Allen. Okay, he's correct but incorrect at the same time. I'll explain.
Okay, public service announcement on how to stay alive in 2026. Legally possessing a firearm means nothing when you fight the cops.
He's correct on that, but incorrect here. In regards to Alex Preding, he was not fighting with the cops at the time of his death. And there are multiple angles to prove this as well.
Much like legally possessing a vehicle means nothing when you try to run cops over with it.
That is correct.
Don't fight cops. The end. Oh, and Tim Walz should go to prison.
And I agree with that too. All right. Trump apparently doesn't understand what shall not be infringed means. No, I don't. This guy got my follow, by the way. I have no comment on any of this. I want you to watch it all through. Listen.
See this. So yesterday, I posted this tweet right here.
He had a gun. Only criminals carry guns on our streets. We need law and order. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
By President Trump, and the amount of crap I got. Now, granted, everybody told me it was a fake tweet, and that's why they were coming after me. They were losing their mind, like, oh, you're sharing false information. You're just, you're just hating, blah, blah, blah. And so, first of all, I took it down because even though I don't get it right all the time, I do try my best to only share truth. But yeah, I don't get it right every time. And to all those people, just want you to watch this clip right here.
Do you agree with the assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Preddy is a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. Very, very unfortunate incident. I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, so then you would think like someone probably said something to him and they were like, oh, dude, what are you doing, right? No. He doubled down.
With that being said, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns.
What about the Second Amendment?
Listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that, but it's just a very unfortunate incident.
What about the Second Amendment, sir?
I've seen a lot of MAGA people who are basically supporting this, right? Who are literally speaking out against Alex Preddy having a firearm and carrying it lawfully. Oh, but he was carrying 2 mags. What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but you're being told it does because it's an easy way to put conditions on your freedom. Oh, but he shouldn't have been carrying a gun at a protest. Are we kidding right now? Are we really, is this a joke? I spoke on this a little bit yesterday, but I'll just say it one more time. The more that you continue to put conditions on your own freedom, right? Oh, well, he can carry, it's okay to carry, but, or yeah, he shouldn't have been carrying because of this, this, and this, right? Or he can carry as long as he doesn't blank. All of those things that you guys are saying and agreeing with and just kind of, yes, nodding your head and saying sure to the administration and the authority above you, you are putting conditions on your own freedom. And if you don't think these people are going to use those conditions against you, you are insane. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. There is no but. There is no under these circumstances or only if this. They're censoring speech more on multiple social media platforms. That's been rolling out for the last few months. All the same things are happening in this country that seem to happen in other countries before there's a massive crackdown on not only speech, but on the freedoms of the citizens. And one thing that's separating us from these other countries that have been completely overrun is the ability to carry a firearm. It's the ability to exercise our Second Amendment. Some of you have been completely cooked by the propaganda and the manipulation and this tribalism of your side that you cannot see your own freedoms being attacked and being slowly taken away from you. By the way, I carry every single day everywhere I go, and I carry multiple magazines, and the amount of things I have in my truck alone, does that make me a domestic terrorist? I'm asking all the MAGA influencers out there and all the people that seem to be so outspoken about the Second Amendment now and the way it should or shouldn't be exercised. Am I a domestic terrorist? But you probably think that question's irrelevant, right? Like, why are you asking me that? Why does it matter? You're not Alex Priddy. You're not the guy that was in the street obstructing justice and obstructing a operation or whatever else these people are telling you. Why does that matter? You're not that person. Not yet. But did you or I decide what was the operation or what was considered obstructing justice or obstructing the operation or doing whatever it is that they've said that Alex was doing at that moment with his phone filming in the middle of the street? Did you or I determine what that was? Interesting how that works, huh? Oh, and to the left, do you get it now or not yet? Still no? Okay. But hey, I'm just a conspiracy theorist.
Everything that man just said is 100% correct. When you put the should, would, could, if, and but, you're putting limitations on your freedoms. Don't do that. All right. You said you were going to do stuff. We're still waiting to see. You said you were going to do stuff. We're still waiting. You said you were going to... Motherfucker, we still waiting for you to release the Epstein files. In full, unredacted. We're still waiting for you to get other shit taken care of. Draining the swamp. There's still corruption. There's still waste going. There's still bullshit going. And that you're still saying... Oh, we're going to give the $2,000 tariff dividend check to the middle-class Americans without Congress.
I don't think we would have to go the Congress route, but, we'll find out. The reason we're even talking about it is that we have so much money coming in from tariffs that we'll be able to issue at least a $2,000 dividend and also pay down debt for the country. But we'd do a $2,000 dividend to the people of our country. Would probably set a limit of, income limit where it made sense. But we will be able to make a very substantial dividend to the people of our country. I believe we can do that without Congress.
I think my watch is broken.
With Kevin Hassett on that, word.
We're still waiting. You said you were going to lower prices. Some areas have gone down. Others have not. You said you were going to drain the swamp. We're still seeing people that are in their offices and stuff like that, still working with other entities and people who are still not behind bars. You have yet to release the fucking full Epstein files. And there's been shit deleted from it, from what I've been able to gather from people mentioning it. Bro, you don't honor your word, man. All right. Dan Bongino. I've used some of his stuff in the past. I've liked him in the past.
Here's the tactic. It's very simple. They use an incident like this to garner public outrage. They use their outlets to magnify public outrage. They get the doomers and the black pillars. Here's the tactic. It's very simple. They use an incident like this.
Or on him.
To garner public outrage.
Gun pulled.
They use their outlets to magnify public outrage.
This guy gets the gun off of Priddy.
They get the doomers and the black pillars and the weak Republicans to then say, oh, look, I was a 3-time Trump voter and everything's going to, this is nonsense. I didn't vote for this. Most of those people never voted for Trump ever. They're totally full of shit. You either stop unlawful activity or unlawful activity metastasizes like a freaking cancer.
Okay, you want to go that fucking route. How about you tell your ICE buddies that are with part of the federal fucking government and part of a federalized enforcement, law enforcement, to honor their fucking oath to the goddamn Constitution and follow what is known as the Bill of fucking Rights. They do not have the right to be agitators in this situation, let alone be that fucking violent to a nurse an ICU nurse. One of them fucking disarmed him, unholstered his weapon, ran away with it. It went off, and they mag dumped him. While there were at least 4 agents on top of him. Clearly, he couldn't have gotten the weapon if, one has one arm, another has the other arm. 2 are on his back. And he's still trying to see. Because he got fucking maced. Anyways, continue, Dan.
That is it. It's either law and order or chaos. There is no on the margin there. You either enforce the law or it's total chaos. Every single little thing, if it was a hiccup, they would try to use it to discredit what was an incredible record we had and probably the best year the FBI under this administration, under any administration's ever.
Best year? Motherfucker, there are people that are still walking scot-free from the Epstein list that y'all refuse to arrest. There are still no goddamn handcuffs on Hillary Rodham Clinton for the abuse of her fucking server. And you'll have all the evidence that's needed to overturn that fucking verdict. Do not give me that shit, Dan. Don't. You know the illegal gun running they were doing over in fucking Syria. You've seen the reports. And by the way, I am no longer bound by that little fucking fact. I can state what I've seen, but I can't state who it was sent to. I can state the nature as to why Benghazi happened the way it fucking did and why she let Ambassador Chris Stevens out in the fucking wind to fucking die. These motherfuckers don't give a shit. They don't. All they care about is, oh, hey, I have this position and now I can get more money. It wasn't about being the right guy for the right job. It was about lining your pockets even further. Wasn't it, Dan? I would love, absolutely fucking love to have a one-on-one with this motherfucker and Kash Patel and ask him, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Because it shows you ain't doing jack shit. You're not. Democrat Ohio AG candidate Elliot Foran should immediately be disqualified and placed under criminal investigation. He posted a video saying he would kill Donald Trump through capital punishment.
Concern over heated and even dangerous political rhetoric. You got a Democratic AG candidate in Ohio facing intense backlash after posting a video saying that he would, quote, kill Donald Trump, arguing he intends to convict the president and then sentence him to die. Lucas Tomlinson's got the fallout from this live in Washington.
Okay.
Washington, Lucas, hello to you.
Good morning, Bill. Elliot Forhan, that Democratic candidate for Ohio Attorney General, posting the following on social media Monday.
I want to tell you what I mean when I say that I am going to kill Donald Trump.
Went on to say he wanted to convict.
Let's see.
Donald Trump.
I mean, I'm going to obtain and continue a conviction rendered, blah, 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 blah.
In court, resulting in capital punishment. Forhan also hurled invectives at the late Charlie Kirk after he was assassinated, using the F curse and claiming Kirk was a champion of tyranny, not democracy. Now, some history, Bill. In 2023, while serving as a member of the Ohio House of Representatives, Democratic Party leadership removed Forhan from all of his committee assignments because of his alleged abusive behavior towards staff and colleagues. Critics say the problem of hateful rhetoric goes well beyond Ohio. Here's the Democratic DA of Philadelphia.
If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities, we will find you, we will achieve justice, and we will do so under the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
Talking about ICE agents there, of course, Pennsylvania Republican Senator David McCormick responds.
So you're going to weaponize the Constitution to actually track people's information and arrest them in the most brutal fashion possible and not give them the realm of due process. Interesting take. But yeah, the dude just committed political career suicide. Like, I'm just letting you know. This gentleman spells it out in simple to understand words.
Personally, so if you live in a blue city, please understand that ICE did not bring chaos to your city. Chaos brought ICE to your city. Open borders created the mess, sanctuary policies enabled it, and now federal law enforcement is cleaning it up. It's not complicated. Look, you don't have to like it. You can defend murderers, drug dealers, and child rapists all you want. Just understand that if you don't stay out of the way, there will be consequences.
And yet when people try to stay out of the way, ICE oversteps. I'm not arguing with the state. I'm just, adding to it, If I see something going on and I'm walking down the sidewalk and I have nothing to do with it, now I'm out of their fucking way and I get approached. Of course, I'm going to tell them I have nothing to do with this. Leave me alone. I do not have to show ID in the state of Texas. It is not a stop and ID state. I don't care what realm of the federal law that they're trying to enforce. I'm following state and local. Federal does not override both of those. It does not.
Me personally, I'd like to send a message to all the ICE agents out there putting in long hours and dealing with dangerous situations and the antics from radicals on the streets attempting to obstruct and impede them every step of the way. I salute you. And
the ones doing it correctly, yes. The ones that are being over aggressive, no.
I stand by you. Thank you for your selfless dedication to this great nation. You are loved and cared about more than you know. And if you stand with ICE, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Only to those doing it correct. Those who are not can go fuck themselves. Simple.
There'll be ICE and CBP officers are performing their duties in a challenging environment under tremendous circumstances, but they're trying to do it with professionalism. If they don't, they'll be dealt with. Like any other federal agency, we have standards of conduct. They are sworn law enforcement officers working tirelessly to enforce our country's border security and immigration laws, protecting the interests of our country and preventing dangerous people from walking the streets of this nation when they're not supposed to be here to begin with. ICE and CBP officers are performing their duties in a challenging environment under tremendous circumstances, but they're trying to do it with professionalism. If they don't, they'll be dealt with. Like any other federal agency, we have standards of conduct. They are sworn law enforcement officers working tirelessly to enforce our country's border security and immigration laws, protecting the interests of our country and preventing dangerous people from walking the streets of this nation when they're not supposed to be here to begin with.
Yeah. I agree with this statement, and you can hear how calm he is. I don't fear the guy that's calm. I fear the guy that's calm and angry. Listen to this. All right.
Emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned.
We'll continue this. We'll continue that in a second. But that what I'm going to be playing here, which I have full authorization to do so, you'll understand where it's about to head to.
Looking at photos from federal operations in Minneapolis over the last week, and this one picture stood out. Tayana Gibson Brown is standing in the doorway, obviously in distress. She's wearing what appears to be scrubs. She has Crocs on, and she's holding her phone in her hand. These agents are basically dressed for...
Like, this isn't normal police gear. It's not.
An imminent threat. There
Like, seriously.
were pieces of equipment on these agents. Weapons that seemed more at home on the battlefield, and here they were on the doorstep of a woman's house in Minneapolis. They cover gun culture and policy. Before that, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years and deployed twice to Afghanistan. With the last 20 to 25 years, wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Somalia, Technology that was used in those wars has kind of migrated into the police force. In this photo, there are two suppressors and a suppressor, also commonly known as a silencer. That was something that just kind of jumped out to me. They protect your hearing, they protect you from concussive blast coming out of your rifle. This is something you would want to have on the end of your rifle barrel if you are in a house shooting in close quarters. When I was in the military, we were on the front line and we had wanted suppressors for my team, but they weren't deemed important enough at the time. This kind of stuff is usually reserved for SWAT teams, hostage rescue teams, high threat environments.
So if it's reserved for that, ask yourself, why the fuck is local law enforcement using that?
One of the things that is interesting on two of these rifles is this thing called the B.E. Myers Maul. It's a daylight laser and an infrared laser that only you can see behind night vision. Things maybe you'd consider when you were jumping out of a helicopter into bin Laden's compound in Pakistan in 2011. It's that kind of technology juxtaposed.
But they're at a civilian's doorstep.
With the doorstep.
This isn't a combat scenario. This is a civilian's doorstep. Distraught, confused, phone in hand. She has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Video from the scene kind of showed a disorganized mess with a lot of yelling.
There is kids in this house. Show the warrant first.
But I think that's kind of par for the course when you have people who are on the street opposed to operations, you have people in the house who are scared, and you have agents who are heavily armed. The agent arrests her husband. 4 days later, he was ordered to be released as his Fourth Amendment rights had been violated.
Which is why I'm going to read something here that I started asking within AI itself. All right. Bear in mind, I had to force AI, literally take its programming and force it to do something it did not want to do. Think instead of posting articles to actually have me click. I forced AI to verbatim, line by line, of what I will read here in a second once we get through with these three. Steven Crowder, here's my plan to end the ICE outrage insanity.
I am going to propose to you what I think needs to be done or what should have been done from the outset. I completely support deporting illegal aliens, and not just violent criminals.
I touched on this earlier. If they're here illegally and working on trying to get their citizenship because the port of entry was jammed, or they were trying to flee an area and had no other choice, and they're trying to work for it, I disagree with that take on what he said immediately. But this part I agree with.
So they should get priority.
The extreme violent ones, get them the fuck out.
There should be a State of the Union address. There should be an address from the White House, Donald Trump. He should have done this in the outset and said, look, we're going to give everyone 1 month. Okay, illegal aliens. So the first step, we're going to give you all 1 month to sell your stuff in your house, get your affairs in order. And everyone out there, this is, by the way, still available, but a lot of people don't know it. Everyone out there who's here illegally, you can self-deport if you don't have a criminal record on the CBP One app. Okay, you can go there, you can register, you can self-deport. The civil penalties will be wiped. We'll pay for your flight, $2,600. That is what is available right now.
The issue with this, Steven, it didn't work because people didn't fucking self-deport.
$2,600, and you can attempt to come back through the legal channels as everyone else. Okay? They should have said that on the outset to make sure that everybody knows. The reason I say this is because I have walked through this. You can go to the Change My Minds. I've had conversations with people where they will say, well, I agree, we need to do something. We need to do something, but it just doesn't look good. Okay, so we need to do something about this. You just don't like the way we're going about it. You can walk people down this path. Try this in real life. Go, okay, so let's think what that might look like. Like maybe the first shot could be, hey, you guys, I get that you're scared. Self-deport, here's an app where you can do it. There'll be no civil penalties, and we'll pay for your flight, maybe even give you $1,000 or a couple $1,000. You can come back to the legal way. Every single time I've said that, people have either said, sure, that's reasonable, or even leftists have said, well, we're not even necessarily, you don't have to give them like money, but yeah, just make it easy. Okay, great, we're doing that.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Give them a month and everything else, but here's the issue. They tried that and it didn't work. That's the fucking issue. They tried that and it didn't work. And it's mainly in a state where there's rampant corruption, and a lot of people from a specific area, Somalia, and Somalians that refuse to leave and are here illegally. It's pretty fucking simple. All right.
To me, that kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that, and I asked if he would repeat it for y'all.
As a combat veteran, I'm having a hard time seeing the difference between ICE and ISIS. ISIS covered their face and publicly executed citizens. ICE is doing the same thing. ICE is operating as a government-sanctioned terrorist organization.
I don't ever really see you get upset. This kind of has me thrown, darling.
It should concern us all.
I'm not even going to comment on that because he's right. A government-sanctioned terrorist organization. It's an army vet, too. Old school. All right. I'm going to play this with Ted Nugent. I'm going to go use the restroom. And then after this, we're going to talk. I'm going to use the restroom, grab a bottle of water, and then continue.
Love you. But if you're saving us trillions of dollars, Donald Trump, I love you. But if you're saving us trillions of dollars in otherwise fraudulent, illegal, power-abusing waste of our taxes, you say you found trillions of our wasted, ripped-off tax dollars? Then give them back to us. They're not yours, Donald Trump. I love you, Donald, but they're not the government's money. That's our money. I would say in a general calculation that what I've heard about the great Donald Trump, and he is great compared to the other game players, the other presidents. His guy's bold. This guy's cocky. Love bold and cocky. He's got a flame-throwing middle finger. But if you found trillions of our dollars and you're getting trillions invested back, then give it to the people that Uncle Sam stole.
Like, if the government took our money and everything else, give the fucking money back. It's not theirs. It's ours. Shit. Hell, fucking use it to pay the goddamn debt down. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to leave y'all with this.
Emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours.
Yeah, here we go. Ready? Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid just because of badge or whatever you say. Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid just because of badge or whatever you say. This is a purge, I'm not censoring shit. Fuck 12 and all you little bitches they work with. You get all pissed when we all scream this, but what you don't get is you're the cause of it. Stop treating people like they'll never be shit. Felonies in jail don't bother G's a bit. You'll never understand what it's like to be us. You get a gun and badge from people we don't trust. We are the people, this is gonna be a genocide. There's crooked politicians and judges, it ain't a lie. They sentence the innocent and fuck up their lives. Where's the justice you promise? Speak up and it's a suicide. I only speak the truth so I deliver as promised. It'll play through speakers in people's cars and houses. Fuck 12 and all their little snitches. They work with snitches, rhyme with stitches and laying dead in ditches. Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid just because of badge or whatever you say. Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid just because of badge or whatever you say. This is for the corrupt that create laws and policies. They want the nation fall apart and bow down on its knees. They rest in charge. All those who feel like me, they lead you around like dogs on a short leash. The war for the races has already started. Others have died for a nation now divided. The rich started this and they'll be there in the end. So the rest of us are already dead and condemned to live out this life like creatures in the night. Let's go ahead and show them we haven't begun to fight. The rules have been broken by those who create them. Time for them to pay, this purge is gonna hurt them. Rise as a people, we will never be forgotten. Fuck 12 and all the rich bitches that's beside them. This is a purge and it'll never be forgotten. I put that on my freedom in this nation, not divided. Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies, while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid, just because of badge or whatever you say. Everything's legal, there ain't no penalties. Keep feeding the violence, we'll commit all the felonies, while judges look the other way for your crimes you never paid, just because of badge or whatever you say.
That was made by one of my mods, one of my homies, Boogie. I have full authority to play that, any music that he's ever written, on any stream or anything that I produce. All right. Now we're coming to the part of the over aggressiveness of ICE and the tragic murder of Alex Preddy. And allow me to preface this by saying the following. I make no affiliations to any part or any individuals featured in this episode. All takes are my own. All viewpoints are of true experience and are of my own. I do not care who the fuck you are or who you support. You will not target the people in this episode. If anyone has any issues with the content, and some will be graphical in nature, this is your one warning to leave the stream. This stream/podcast is intended for mature audiences. Freedom does not come free. Freedom of speech is not without its consequences. I do not align with the left or the right. I am my own individual. There it is. I do not align with any political party or movement. I am my own entity. No one is safe from criticism anymore. Furthermore, I am a vet of this country. I served for 9 years of my life. There are things that I know certain entities do not do. And in this one, we are going to be heavily discussing one important factor called de-escalation and another called continuing education. When you are protesting, and it is your right to peaceably gather and protest any grievances that your government has against you, your community, or your people, you do so in a peaceful manner. You do not become aggressive in any way, shape, or form. There are instances that I can point out where this has not been true. Furthermore, when police tell you to back up because they are trying to crowd control, back up. If you are interacting with them and they try to put their hands on you, put your hands up and say, I have a firearm or I have a weapon at whatever position. Keep your hands up at all times. Phone where it can be recorded. Or if you have a pocket, have it pointed towards them as a body camera. When you mention to them that you have a weapon, you state the following. Under the Fourth Amendment, I consent to no searches or seizures. However, due to the escalated nature of this situation, I am allowing the seizure and confiscation for further investigation of my weapon or firearm. This is your one chance to actually convey to the officer, hey, I care for your safety. I want to do the right thing. Please do not kill me. That's all you have to say. Now, I get heated situations do not afford that. They don't. Have I ever been to a protest? No. Do I carry my firearm around law enforcement? Yes. Open carry sometimes as well. And I interact with them constantly. I have interacted with city cops, local local area, county officials, fucking FBI, CIA, Border Patrol, ICE, you name it. Not once have they gotten fucking antsy, like, oh my God, he's got a gun. No, never. Although I do tell the FBI agents, like, you do realize you stand out, right? They're like, what do you mean? Nobody's wearing slacks and collared shirt with a concealed gun and a vest that's underneath your shirt in this neighborhood. Nobody. Like, you got a good eye. With that said, the last part in the last segment of this is of the ICE situation in Minneapolis and the murder of Alex Preddy. Many could say he was justly shot. No, he was not. He was unjustly killed. There's one specific person in here that I'm going to absolutely disprove of their notion. Now, here's what I was talking about in the forcing AI to dig deeper. Fourth Amendment definition. The Fourth Amendment protects individuals from unreasonable government searches and seizures, ensuring privacy by requiring warrants based on probable cause, supported by oath, and specifying the place to be searched and things to be seized, safeguarding personal security in homes, papers, and effects, and forming the basis for laws on warrants, surveillance, and privacy rights. Homeland Security Investigations, HSI agents, as federal law enforcement officers, are generally required to abide by federal law, the U.S. Constitution, and agency policies. While the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution allows federal agents to operate in states regardless of local laws that might hinder them, HSI agents do not have absolute immunity from state criminal prosecution if they violate the state laws and are expected to act within legal boundaries. Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. First Amendment, the First Amendment, ratified in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, prohibits Congress from restricting 5 fundamental freedoms: religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. It assures the separation of church and state via the Establishment Clause, protects free expression, and allows citizens to protest or require changes from the government. And here's where I force them. Diving deeper. This is within the Fourth Amendment area. Diving deeper, federal agencies and warrants. Are they required to show? Federal agencies are not always required to present a warrant to arrest an individual. While the Fourth Amendment generally prefers warrants, federal agents have broad authority to make warrantless arrests under specific legal conditions. When warrants are not required, federal agents such as those from the FBI, U.S. Marshals, or ICE can legally arrest somebody without a warrant in the following situations. Crimes in presence, if a federal offense is committed in the agent's presence. Probable cause for felonies, if the agent has reasonable grounds to believe the person has committed or is currently committing a felony. Exigent circumstances, emergency situations where immediate action is needed to prevent a suspect from escaping, to protect public safety, or to prevent the destruction of evidence. Public spaces, arrests made in public areas such as streets or parking lots, often do not require a warrant if there is probable cause. Specific agency rules as of 2026. FBI and U.S. Marshals can arrest without a warrant for any federal offense committed in their presence or for any felony if they have reasonable grounds. This is probable cause. ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, part of law enforcement. Public arrest. ICE agents can arrest suspected immigration violators in public without a judicial warrant. ICE agents can arrest suspected immigration violators in public without a warrant. In public without a warrant. Administrative agents. ICE frequently use administrative warrants like a Form I-200 or I-205. These are signed by agency officials, not judges, and generally do not require and generally do not authorize entry into private homes without consent. 2026 policy shift. As of January, an internal ICE memo has authorized agents to use force to enter residences based solely on administrative warrants for individuals with final removal orders, a policy currently facing legal challenge for potentially violating the Fourth Amendment. And yes, it 100% does. Requirements following a warrantless arrest. If you are arrested without a warrant, federal law requires initial appearance. You must be brought before a magistrate judge as soon as practicable, typically within 48 to 72 hours to determine if there was probable cause for arrest. Identification. Agents must generally identify themselves as soon as it is practical and safe. Fourth Amendment issue. Yes, an arrest is most prominent example of seizure of a person under the Fourth Amendment. The Supreme Court has long, and this key part right here, all right? The Supreme Court has long established that a person is seized when their freedom of movement is restrained by a government official in a way that would make a reasonable person feel they are not free to leave. Legal definitions of seizure. For Fourth Amendment purposes, the seizure occurs through two primary reasons. Physical force, the application of physical contact within the intent to restrain, such as being handcuffed or even being touched by an officer for the purpose of an arrest. Show of authority. When an officer uses language or gestures like drawing a weapon or giving a command, and the individual submits to that authority. Key legal standards as of 2026. The seized threshold. An arrest is a formal seizure, but less intrusive actions, such as a traffic stop or Terry stop, brief investigative detentions, are also considered seizures that require legal justification, meaning a fucking warrant. The warrant is the justification. Intent to restrain. Under the landmark Torres versus Madrid 2021 ruling, a person is considered seized if an officer applies physical force with the intent to restrain them, even if the person manages to flee afterward. Reasonableness. The Fourth Amendment does not ban all seizures, only unreasonable ones. For an arrest to be a reasonable seizure, it generally must be supported by probable cause. However, the issue here is legal justification. From the legal standard of 2026, the legal justification must be in tow of a warrant present for an arrest. Does the agency have probable cause to arrest, seize the individual suspected of their crime? If so, articulation is needed and is expected to be stated. If not, civil statutes and issues have just been violated. In many cases, agencies need to have an active warrant to avoid further issues. Here we go. With that said, I've already covered the bases on a lot. I've already covered the bases and the framework on everything that I am about to show.
This is an investigation that ultimately proves that at the time of the shooting, it was legally justified. I don't think that even matters at this point because there is so much outrage and concern around what is happening in the city.
What do you mean it doesn't matter at this point? You mean the situation on the ground is already, the impression is left?
People have had enough. This is the third shooting now in less than 3 weeks. The Minneapolis Police Department went the entire year last year recovering about 900 guns from the street, arresting hundreds and hundreds of violent offenders, and we didn't shoot anyone. And now this is the second American citizen that's been killed. It's the third shooting within 3 weeks. People have been speaking out, saying that this was going to happen again. And I think everyone is kind of waiting for folks on both sides to come together and just figure this thing out. This is not sustainable. This police department has only 600 police officers. We are stretched incredibly thin. This is taking an enormous toll trying to manage all of this chaos on top of having to be the police department for a major city. It's too much.
It's not wrong. You have so little and you got to cover so much to ensure that federal agencies are doing everything within the realm of your laws. It's too much for one organization to do. Okay, here's the thing about this. Border Patrol agents point weapons at press as they reportedly were preparing to evacuate agents from the Home Suite Hilton Hotel in Minneapolis. I do not think that that was the case.
You press or you press?
You see how his hands are? He's trying to get word out saying, hey, this is the situation.
Get back! Stay back! Get back!
And he doesn't know what this dude's gonna do. And you saw that, right? This dude. This dude right here. Went like a coward.
No.
What's not shown here is him asking for the local police, having them come so that they can be relieved, so that they can tell them of the situation going on. Like, they're facing an issue that they need help with. And the fact that that one jackass threw something at them like that, no, I really hope they get the fingerprints off that and arrest the dude.
Law enforcement names like Gestapo or using the term kidnapping. That is a choice that is made. There are actions and consequences that come from those choices.
Hey, Bovino, I've already said
and
it.
then when you choose, when someone chooses to...
Because they're actively kidnapping people, and who knows God what, who knows what the fuck they're doing to the women that they take. Are they sexually assaulting them? Are they raping them? Are they fucking abusing them? That is Gestapo-like kidnapping behavior. Oh shit, I said it. There's gonna be consequences. I'll fucking wait, you piece of shit.
To listen to a politician, a so-called journalist, a community leader that spouted that type.
I'll deal with the consequences if they decide to show up. I'll deal with them on my own accord. But the fact is, they're kidnapping people without a fucking warrant from their own homes. Whether or not they're here legally is beside the point. If they're here illegally, present the fucking warrant. Like, here's within the land, you know, here's our the law of the land, the U.S. Constitution. We're following this. Warrant. You with me, hands behind your back. Blah 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 blah. All the other stuff. But no,
vilification
you're kidnapping people
towards law enforcement or anything else. When you choose to listen to that, that is a choice, and there are consequences and actions there also. I think we saw that yesterday.
Clearly, you're a bitch-made motherfucker, dude. I cannot stand Destiny. I hate how he fucking talks. I hate his viewpoints. But he makes 2 solid points here. And I agree with them. Listen.
Person standard has to do with a reasonable officer standard. And every time you debate with a conservative, they always say, well, if I was in that situation, well, if I was in that situation, well, if I was in... Well, you're not a police officer.
Correct. People who have said, well, if I was in that situation, the vast majority of them are not police officers. The vast majority of them are not vets. They have never been in a high-stress situation in their entire life to deal with mobs of crowds. Continue.
We should have a higher standard for cops. If you see somebody who's
I agree.
In a car accident and you run forward and you try to pull them out or whatever, and it turns out that you injured this person more pulling him out of the car because you thought it was the right thing to do. How many people are going to look at you and be like, you need to be charged with a crime for assaulting that person? Probably nobody, right? Assuming you're not acting in bad faith or whatever, it's like, okay, yeah, a person can fuck up. But if it was a doctor or an EMT that did that, if an EMT rattled a guy out of a car and he ended up breaking his neck as a result, you say, hold on, you know better. You have training for this. You're literally the person that we would call to handle these situations. How can you fuck this up? When you're looking at the reasonable officer standard, it's not enough for these loser inbred conservatives to say, well, I wouldn't have done that. I don't care what you would have done. You're not a trained police officer, you dumb motherfucker.
I'm not a trained police officer, but I have enough training from the military that could equate to better training than what a lot of law enforcement officials go through. De-escalation, not being overly aggressive, actual detainment, making sure that you're not going to kill them whenever they're in custody. But that's me. I'm not an average citizen. An average citizen doesn't have that type of training. They don't have that know-how. They don't understand how to de-escalate. And here's the other take that I agree with him on. Like I said, can't stand the motherfucker, but he makes a sound argument.
Know everything that happened in this video. The only reason we know from 52 different angles all the different parts about this is because there are people that are out there recording. That's why they don't want these people out there. Because again, imagine we have one grainy piece of video footage, or imagine we have nothing. What were we told by Kristi Noem? By Donald Trump, by Patel, that these guys get up here, they just start screaming about this guy was a terrorist, started fighting with cops, wanted to mass murder everybody, was there to kill, had dozens of bullets, it's crazy. That's insane to me.
And that's honestly probably what kicked it off, is the guy was just filming them, and they don't like that.
I guess, yeah. Or in terms of what made them mad, yeah. But some people film and they shouted. I have no idea. I don't even know what the cop was thinking. I have no clue. The only reason we know everything.
I want to know why the fuck they pulled the trigger. But no, I agree with his take. Is the reason why we have so much footage is because people were recording. And let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on one after he just wait. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people. This dude is the reason why they opened fire. Because
that happened in this video, the only reason we know
he grabbed
from 52 different angles all the different parts about this is because there are people that are out there recording. That's why they don't want these people out there. Because again, imagine we have one grainy piece of video footage, or imagine
he grabs the gun, runs away with it, and it misfires, and they think that he shot. What if it was a backfire from a car? If a car backfired right then and there, how many more innocent people would have been shot? But I have yet to be able to find actual continuing education that ICE and Border Patrol agents have to do for the entire year. Yeah, they do fucking, you can search it how many hours. But 25 is what they say, in-house. I'm like, no, dude, no, that's incorrect. They don't do continuing education. They don't do de-escalation training. They don't.
Those in power told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It is now one of their most essential functions to maintain control, and the cost the abandonment of constitutional order. This is a message to every United States citizen. The Constitution of the United States guarantees your civil rights. These rights are explicit. They are enforceable. They do not disappear because a federal agency chooses secrecy, force, or narrative control over accountability. The First Amendment guarantees freedom of speech, peaceful assembly, protest, and the
This coming from the same group that said they would erase everybody's debt, by the way.
right to petition the government. The Fifth Amendment guarantees due process of law and protects against deprivation of life without lawful procedure. The 14th Amendment guarantees equal protection under the law and civil rights protections against any abuse of state power. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has killed United States citizens. Renee Nicole Good.
He tried to run over the cop with the car. But I agree. There's different circumstances that have happened, and they could have 100% blocked her in with the vehicle.
A United States citizen and mother was shot in the face multiple times on January 7th, 2026. She was unarmed. Verifiable video and eyewitness evidence show she did not pose a threat to federal agents.
Incorrect, she had a car. The car is a multi-thousand-pound missile. This one's a little different.
Alex Jeffrey Freddy, a United States citizen and ICU nurse at the VA, was killed on January 24th, 2026. He was assisting a woman who had been knocked to the ground. 24th, 2026. He was assisting a woman who had been knocked to the ground. 2026. He was assisting a woman who had been knocked to the ground. Knocked to the ground. Knocked to the ground. Had been knocked to the ground.
But yeah, they said that he was fighting with, federal agents, right?
He was a lawful permit holder, but his weapon was not drawn, not unholstered, and not used to threaten any officer. He was pepper sprayed, tackled, beaten, disarmed, and shot while defenseless and outnumbered. These are proven facts by verifiable eyewitness accounts and publicly available verified video evidence from multiple angles. If ICE agents can conceal their identities while committing high crimes and other violations of the Constitution while using excessive force, then citizens have the same right when exercising their constitutional freedoms. Anonymous is now inviting all those in peaceful protests to put on a mask, utilizing the First Amendment right to protest anonymously.
This is the exact same group, and yeah, don't get me wrong. Anonymous is one group that I will not want to fucking tangle with in a negative way. If anybody from Anonymous is watching, we're still waiting for the debt to be completely wiped out. I'm just saying. But they 100% stated the facts there. 2 people shot and killed by ICE. One could be a practical use of self-defense. The other one, unjustifiably murdered. All right. Now we get to the craziness. Here we go.
I, like many of Americans, my support towards ICE has changed over the course of the last 72 hours. What happened with Alex Pretty was a tragedy, but it was a preventable one. And don't get it twisted. My support has not wavered. My support has increased tenfold, 20-fold, 1,000-fold. Because what we are seeing is being engineered by the Democrats in power in that state.
Incorrect.
Why has Texas been able to capture and deport 10 times the amount of illegals as Minnesota has without incident?
Mainly due to the fact that our representatives don't have rampant corruption and rampant fraud and a lot of illegals that actually vote for them. And Texas also has this thing. Well, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, We have to show a legal, valid state ID in order to vote.
Why did ICE surge Louisiana and had one instance of an assault against an ICE officer, whereas in Minnesota there were dozens within 48 hours? I am sick of people demonizing ICE, saying they need more training. More training?
They do need more training. 40 days is not enough training. I'm sorry.
ICE Customs Enforcement, that is their job. And they are not allowed to do their job because the Democratic leadership in Minnesota is forcing them to do crowd control, is forcing them to do riot mitigation. And by the way, what a great force that should be supporting these agents, because how versed are they in riots and protests and people trying to burn down their city?
I don't know, maybe the enforcement part where they're also part of a federal law enforcement. They're Miss Liberty Valkyrie. The enforcement part of the E and ICE, which is part of the actual Department of Homeland Security. Security meaning that you need the training in order to secure certain liberties and freedoms.
When it comes to training, training is all good. But what really...
Training is all good, right? Let's take a look. Google.com. How long is ICE training? 42 to 47 days. Training is not good. I'm sorry. Training is not good. You don't. If you're going to do a job that involves people's lives and livelihoods, you don't do that little of training. I'm sorry. No.
Comes into play is the lived experience and putting that training to the test, which we all know Minneapolis police have done time and time again. This video...
Google.com. How long do Minneapolis Chica, the training is good, right? Right? The training's good? Bitch, I just destroyed your narrative with 2 fucking searches.
Says it all.
Where's the local PD? That's my question for the press.
Where is the local PD?
They're out dealing with a bunch of other bullshit because you have a bunch of federal agents swarming their city. They're out actually mitigating the riots, cleaning up ICE's bullshit, doing the investigation from the shooting.
Where is the local
Where
PD?
is the local support to help these ICE agents do their job without incident? Because if there wasn't a stand-down order for Minneapolis police to help ICE agents, we wouldn't have a Renee Good and we wouldn't have an Alex Pretty.
And it's not pretty, it's pretty. Get it right. Good try, though. Anyways, when you have about 600 cops and police officials within a large metropolitan area, I know it's kind of hard for her to grasp, right? I know it's kind of hard for you to understand this. But when you have such a small element and you're responsible for, how fucking large is Minneapolis? What is the size of Minneapolis? I know I fucking butchered that. 57.51 square miles. 59 square miles if you want to go with this. So, yeah. let's look at this. Where's the map? There we go. So you mean to tell me you want the 600 agents, or excuse me, 600 officers who are stretched fucking thin all throughout this entire area over here, throughout all this, everywhere. You want the 600 police officers, some who are working doubles, some who are getting forced to take a break. You want them as stretched thin as they already fucking are to drop what they're doing and help them. It's not a stand down order to stretch thin.
But that's the goal of the left, to utilize their constituents as not only pawns, but collateral.
Okay, so utilized by collateral. In that regard, Ilhan Omar represents the illegal immigrants in Minnesota and not the legal citizens in Minnesota. Go fuck yourself. 2 Google searches, I destroyed your narrative on the training. That alone. That shows how incompetent you are at being able to get your back straight. The training is not good. You cannot effectively have effective training within that short amount of time. You cannot. You cannot take, and I'm going to use the military as a prime example. You cannot take a civilian and within 4 weeks transform him into a soldier or a Marine or an airman, a sailor, a Coast Guardsman. You can't. It's impossible. Physically and utterly fucking impossible, because the amount of knowledge and training that is required will require diligent work. Something that ICE has failed to do. Next. This guy makes a solid fucking point. I have no comment on any of it. Go.
Probably would have turned over Anne Frank, too. You guys supported vaccine passports. You fucking cheered when police shut down church services during COVID. You encouraged your neighbors to snitch on people. You guys legit created a fucking hotline to call and snitch on people if they had more than fucking 5 people over for Easter. You suggested that anybody who supports Trump should go to a re-education camp. You backed mask mandates for toddlers. You fucking doxed people for making political donations. You supported FBI surveillance of parents. You applauded arrests of political opponents. You guys are the real schmazzies. And you're fucking domestic terrorists to boot. You guys also made hate speech tip lines to report people who say shit that you don't like. You guys wanted to ban books about American history. We just wanted to ban books that had sexual content for children. And you want to know what? I wouldn't have turned Anne Frank over because she was a legal citizen.
He makes solid arguments. Like I said, in my statement, I do not align with the left. I do not align with the right. I am my own individual. So I can have a hot take on both sides and not fucking care whose feelings I hurt. Playtime's over. Everything he fucking said is true. Do you know that whenever COVID was at its height, I drove to Taco Bell without a fucking mask on in my car, and I had a sheriff deputy get out. My windows were rolled down, by the way. He got out of his cruiser, which was right behind me, walked up and said, "Sir, turn the music down." All right? You need to put your mask on. No. Light's green. I'm going to Taco Bell. Drove off because he didn't have his lights on. It was not a legal traffic stop and everything else. Pulled up in the parking lot, threw his lights on. "I need your license, insurance, registration." I asked, "What's the nature of the stop?" For driving away whenever I was talking to you, it's like, "I don't have to listen to you. You did not have your lights on. You were not acting in your lawful capacity. I'm not giving you anything. If you want to go that way, I'll get your supervisor." Supervisor comes up and I ask him, "Now, what was the purpose of his stop? Was it to get me to put the mask on? I'm not going into a public building, and this car is considered my personal property. I do not have to wear a mask if I want to. And by the way, wearing a mask outside is stupid." Unless you are actually at a riot where you have a riot mask, an N95 filtration mask, and something of that nature as a respirator or a fucking military grade style gas mask. I ain't wearing shit. The only reason why I ever wore a fucking mask whenever I went to a hospital is because if I didn't wear it, I couldn't go to my appointment. That was it. Which caused all sorts of problems as well. Because whenever they checked my vitals, it spiked through the roof. So, height of COVID, anybody's like, oh, you're not wearing a mask. I don't fucking care. Oh, what about those around you? What about it? They're going to get sicker than I am. Are you worried about catching COVID? You mean the flu? No? Oh, well, Marine, you can't say it was the flu. No, it's the fucking flus with the SARS vaccine. Influenza embedded with the SARS vaccine. Look at the protein makeup of both. And it had a very low mortality rate. The whole reason why they were saying, oh, well, X amount, 1,000 people died, is because they were quoting different numbers for different things. They tried putting my grandmother, who died from cancer, as a COVID victim. Okay? She got cancer the second time. And this second time killed her. My grandmother. They tried putting that as a statistic for COVID. My first question to them was, well, did she ever test positive for it? No. Okay? You put that on her obituary, I'm going to sue the shit out you and get your license taken away. So, yeah. COVID was a real thing. But my take, it was different. Now, I have Scotty up with this. This is not the reason for this, okay? This is his take. Listen, he has every right to be pissed off.
Yeah, fucking political. That was murder. An ICU nurse who worked at the VA, who was legally carrying a firearm that was fucking holstered while he was filming, who is now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took a gun to a protest. But all these 2A motherfuckers a couple years back were screaming Kyle Rittenhouse's name from the goddamn rooftops. Oh, well, that was different. Yeah, you're right. He had a fucking rifle strapped to his chest. The man who was shot and murdered by ICE was concealed carrying a firearm that he was legally allowed to fucking have. I am now seeing reports that it's even possible that they disarmed him by taking his weapon out of his holster that was at his 6 o'clock, and then they mag dumped the fucking guy. So if you are legally carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your fucking back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore, and you're fucked. So where's all the don't tread on me, 2A, gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards? Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side? So I'm done playing the middle ground. I'm done making first aid videos that just might help, that can be seen by both sides. So fuck it. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. We are not mad enough.
Here's the thing with what he said.
Carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your fucking back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore, and you're fucked.
Right
so
here.
where's all the don't tread on me, 2A,
Right here.
gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards? Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side?
Or is it just not when it's on your fucking side? We can say he should have not been carrying all day long, but that would be an infringement on his right. He was lawfully carrying. He was legally carrying. Oh, but he didn't have his ID. If it's registered to him, they can get his identification, and it's not hard to get his fucking ID, especially whenever they give him his driver's license number. When you have this item in your fucking wallet, in your possession, called a driver's license, your information is within the Department of Transportation's system. That is also cross-referenced with law enforcement systems. Reason being is in the need of any emergency that they need to get a hold of you. In certain extreme situations, will it actually be forwarded to a governmental entity like the FBI, CIA, DHS, HSI, and other type of agencies. The reason why I know this is because of a couple of reports that I had to file with the FBI years ago while I was on active duty. Yes, I've been questioned, I've been grilled by the FBI because they wanted to give me a certain level of security clearance that I seriously did not want, but they gave it to me in a fucking way. Really pissed me off. He makes a good point by asking, or is it just on your fucking, what was it?
Hey, gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards. Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side?
Or is it just not when it's just not on your fucking side? I agree with that question. Where's all these proud two-way idiots that are like, oh, Second Amendment, blah, 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 blah. Here's my stance. So that you don't have insane motherfuckers and people who are so pissed off at the government that want to go cause harm. Universal background check. 3-month minimum. Weapon safety course, handling course, and qualification course. That's mine. That's what I would like to see. Oh, well, this is too long. You don't get a firearm. Like, the Second Amendment is absolute. Only whenever a militia is formed, then you can have the firearm. But until then, nope. People like to say, oh, it's a tricky situation. No, it's not. What's a militia? Group of citizens made to actually secure the peace within their state. And what's the purpose? To ensure the security of that state. If you can't be trusted to go through and do your due diligence, how can they fucking trust you with their lives? Next one. That's not the reason why sponsors were dropping Scotty. This is.
Scotty K Fitness just was dropped by a huge sponsor, Rise, and you are not going to believe why. So apparently, Scotty K Fitness, who has 4.4 million followers, has been reading his comments lately and going after people that leave him things that he doesn't agree with. One of the people that he went after is the reason he lost this sponsorship, and it is absolutely horrifying. We're going to get back to that, though. Did you see that Scotty K Fitness also was doxing people? He has a huge platform, and he was sharing people's addresses. Like, that is not only something that you can get wiped off the internet for, that's something that you can actually go to prison for. Are your political beliefs worth you losing everything? But let's get back to why Rise, the protein company, just dropped him. So this just happened really, really recently, but he's being dropped because he made fun of somebody for being paralyzed. So here.
Rise, quote, effective immediately. Rise is no longer affiliated or represented by the individual involved in recent controversy. We are aware of comments made by this prior affiliate that were hurtful and inappropriate towards individuals with physical and mental disabilities. Those views do not reflect our company's values, and we do not support or condone language or behavior that is discriminatory, harmful, or dismissive of any community. We take this matter seriously and have been taking immediate steps to address the situation directly with the individual involved. We are also reviewing our affiliate partnerships and internal processes to ensure our standards of respect, inclusivity, and accountability are upheld. To our community, we hear your concerns. We appreciate you holding us to a standard, and we are committed to doing better. Nick Stella, CEO Rise. Scotty's comment that got him fucked. Oh, found you, Cody of Indiana, paralyzed from the chest down with a failed YouTube and obsession with four-wheelers and motocross. I wonder how you sustained a spinal cord injury. Drifting in the snow looked fun, though.
Here's the statement from Rise. Effective immediately, Rise is no longer affiliated or represented by the individual involved in recent and inappropriate towards individuals at the bottom if you want to screenshot it. But basically, he was making fun of somebody that is paralyzed, that cannot change their situation, all because that person did not align with him politically. I just want to know, how does it feel, Scotty K, to become everything that you say you hate? Let me know what you guys think of this. This is
Yeah, like, seriously, dude, you shot yourself in the fucking foot with that one, man. I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. You fucked yourself over. Moving on. Here we go. Here's his fucking, oh, I'm sorry.
I owe you all an apology. For days now, I have been lying to myself. Saying things like, I'm a good person. I've done a lot of good for the world. It's all bullshit deflection to keep me from taking responsibility for my own actions. I've built this entire platform on inclusivity and kindness. And I lost sight of that in my own ego. I lashed out at people. I responded to hatred with hatred. I apologize for not being of character. The character that I promised you I all had. I hope that I hope that you can accept that, and if not, I understand.
Yeah, I can't accept that, dude. I cannot accept that apology. There's no way in my conscience I could actually wholeheartedly accept that apology when you 100% targeted a paralyzed individual. That's the same thing as trying to target another vet and making fun of them for having PTSD. I want to be 100% real and transparent with everybody real quick. I suffer from my own demons. I'm open about what my trauma is, what I've gone through, and everything else. I have more or less become an advocate for vets who need the help. I'll poke fun at, what branch they went to. Oh, you were in the Army, haha, you ain't really a Marine. That's about it. Or, Navy, you're my Uber drivers. Fucking poke fun at Coast Guard. You're part of the Homeland Security. Shit like that. Nothing egregious. I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody who has PTSD because they survived a multiple time rollover stateside and never deployed, like, oh, well, you never went overseas, you don't know. No, I'm never going to do that. That is not my nature and not my character. Because I know what it feels like to actually have that made fun of by. I had leaders, people I looked up to and supposed to report to, that didn't understand what I went through and what my experiences were over in Iraq and Afghanistan. They thought I was just bullshitting. But when it found out, oh, hey, there's something really fucked up with him, maybe we might need to intervene now. Still, I was fucking made fun of for going to get help by these very same leaders. And it's no wonder why I told one of them, if I ever see you out in the street, it will be on fucking sight. I will beat your ass senseless. I'm not a violent dude, but certain wounds still hurt. Like, yeah, I have a temper about me and everything else. That's nothing new. If anybody's known me for longer than at least 3 years, they know I can go from calm to fucking rabid, back to calm, back to rabid, back to calm, back to rabid, back to calm, all within an hour. It's like a bottle of water. calm, rabbit, calm, rabbit, calm, rabbit. Like that fucking fast. Like, I will never be able to accept his apology, and I don't even know if I'm going to still follow him on anything. I've yet to make that determination. I haven't unfollowed him. I haven't unsubscribed from him. That thought's still there. Whether I want, like, whether I need to or not. So, I just can't accept his apology right now. I can't. There's no fucking way I can. On top of that, going back to what I was saying, if for any reason, any of them, any of my previous leaders that fucking poked fun and prodded and made fun of me for my fucking conditions. Yes, conditions, plural. I would tell them, I am not accepting a fucking thing. Get the fuck away from me. Because they didn't have the empathy or compassion to actually see what the fuck was going on with their Marine. They didn't. All they gave a shit about is, when are we done? Why haven't you done this? I'm sorry, I'm still processing shit. So, yeah, Scotty, no. You made your bed, you fucking lay in it. All right, Chief of Chicago Police nailed it. Let me make this clear. Federal agents, IHS, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. I've been saying the same damn thing. I don't need to play this entirely. He basically goes on to say, if agents are being boxed in, they're going to deem you as a threat. Don't do it. All right. This motherfucker. I want to... I want to see something. All right. To give a little context. As been episode analyzed by former special agent. You were a Homeland Security investigator. To all the pussies that don't know shit about law enforcement or use of force, please shut the fuck up. I'm actually here to tell you, no, I'm not going to shut the fuck up because I actually have a little bit more training than you give any fucking veteran credit for, Myron. I'm ready to talk about whether the shooting was lawful or not. It was not. This is facts, not feelings. Cry elsewhere if you can't be an objective adult.
Facts and not feelings, chat. All right. So I need you guys to like.
One thing about him. He was a former special agent with Homeland Security Investigations for approximately 6 years. His tenure was in both Laredo, Texas and Miami, Florida. He resigned to pursue a podcast, Fresh and Fit. And during his time with HSI, he was involved in undercover operations, wiretaps, and Mexican cartel investigations. During his time, he was involved in undercover operations, wiretaps, and Mexican cartel operations. Interesting. And yet, you tell us to shut the fuck up. All right, skinny boy. Let's talk.
Not be bitches. The number one thing you guys got to understand is that when it comes to use of force, from a law enforcement perspective, they're always going to be judged on, was it reasonable? It's not about how you feel, what you think. It is, wasn't it reasonable based on the facts and circumstances known to the person at the time they conducted the self-defense maneuver, or in this case it'd be the shooting, right? That's what it comes down to. So number one, we got to understand 2020 hindsight, all these camera angles, none of that fucking matters.
It actually does fucking matter. 100% fucking matters. Because you're going to see at no point did he fight the agent in getting on the ground? You're going to see the agents overstep their boundaries and become super over aggressive.
At all, to be honest with you. None of that matters. What matters is what was known to the officers that shot at the time that they shot. Okay? That's what matters. I want to be explicitly clear about this. Because a lot of you motherfuckers, especially progressives, you guys like to fucking Monday morning quarterback. Well, Myron, I think this, I feel this, I saw the video like this, I saw that, I saw this. None of that fucking matters.
It actually matters, you dumbass. Because you have all the evidence that they fucking Mac dumped into him while he had 5 other agents on top of him. One even pulled the trigger point fucking blank. It 100% fucking matters. Because you're bound by certain laws to not fucking do that. Any fucking department policy will fucking tell you that. Your own fucking department will tell you that.
And I'm yelling it so you guys understand, because I know I'm going to get a bunch of fucking retards that are going to be in their feelings. Number one, you guys got to understand from the officer's perspective. They're operating and doing a enforcement operation in a hostile location, Minneapolis.
Correct.
So they're already on guard. People are agitating them. People are bringing bells. People are taking pictures of their license plates. People are following them around. It's already a heightened area.
And if they had actually focused on that instead of everybody else, and, you know, with the ear pro that they have, which 100% can mitigate that sound, and had better training and not expedited training, we wouldn't be in the situation.
Like a heightened security area. Now, this
heightened security area, no. 100% incorrect. A heightened security area? Security at an embassy. Embassy. Security at a forward observation post in a combat environment. Security at an overwatch position on a suspected vehicle that may or may not contain insurgents to kill you. You are undercover in some areas, so you understand a heightened security area.
Woman, we don't know what the fuck happened before, but an ICE guy shoves her, right, as we see right here. So this guy is dealing with these people. They're probably impeding them or stopping them from doing something. Okay. Boom, you push the lady, get the fuck out of here. And then this one comes near him, pushes her back too. And then this guy puts his hand on the fucking...
Incorrect. He's trying to separate them so that he doesn't cause any more grounds. And this fucking clown right here, this motherfucker oversteps his bounds. He's already becoming the aggressor here. You have no justification for that. You do not put your hands on citizens and forcibly push them to the fucking ground. You don't.
Idiot, bro. Why would you do that? Mind your business.
He's an ICU nurse. It is his business, especially whenever he's a medical professional trying to render aid to somebody. That is his business.
You're armed.
You don't know he's armed in this shot. Only reason why you know now is because of what fucking happened afterwards. That's the only reason you know why he's armed, is because of everything that came after the shooting. You don't know he's armed here.
And you're touching a fucking ICE agent in Minneapolis where these niggas are on high alert, bro. Like, come on, man. Common sense.
See, he's putting his hand in the way to prevent this. If anything, you can see the clear exchange right here. Puts his hand up. Oh, you wanna talk about bitch boy move, motherfucker, Myron? You wanna talk about a bitch boy move? Look at this.
Man.
Al, I want you to watch Freddy's left hand here, where this ICE agent's right hand's going, okay? Something that a Homeland fucking HSI agent and another fucking cover investigator should be able to spot with these, but yet you got a fucking vet that has No fucking training on their fucking behalf, but it can actually spot this shit a mile fucking way. Watch Freddy's left hand. Watch the agent's right hand. Freddy still has his phone in his right hand. And I have it slowed down. It's fucking muted, so it's not like all that bullshit. Look, reaches for it. He sees it. Pushes off. Hand goes up to protect his eyes. That right there should have ended the confrontation. Back up, call for help, tell him to step to the side. But no. By the way, this gets graphic. You've been warned.
And then you get pepper sprayed.
Well, he turned his head so it wasn't directly in the eyes.
And then you're resisting.
No, he's not resisting. He's actually trying to figure out where the fuck he's at. And he's trying to see if she's okay. Don't sit there and say you're resisting. That's not resisting. That's not. You could try to paint it 33,000 different ways. That is not resisting.
This thing?
See, he's trying to help her up. You call that resisting? At no point in time. And we already covered this, by the way. I read the fucking letter of everything. At no point in time did they try to put him in a fucking D-straight hold. At all. Whether it be a choke hold, a fucking, chicken wing hold, hand behind the back. And if he tries to move his hand, that's physically restraining. No fucking way in hell was he ever trying to restrain. He's trying to help the lady up. They're trying to move him away. Forgive him for doing his job as an ICU nurse. My God, you egotistical little fuckhead. Can't think of a better word than to use the fucking N-word on your shit, can you? Shows how unintelligible you are. Yeah, I curse too, but still, you know what I'm not doing? Dropping slurs. Fucking idiot.
I know they're telling him get on the ground and he's not listening.
Because you got people blowing whistles. It's hard to hear. You got 3 other people right here yelling at him. 4th one right up here. No, leg. So you got 3 right here. Probably a 4th over here. This is the dude that does everything.
And you got a gun on your hip.
Again, you don't know that there's a gun on his hip because that hasn't been revealed. That has not been revealed. You don't know that there's a gun on his hip yet because that hasn't been revealed. Again, you know all this shit after his death, after his murder. You don't know all this shit right now. You don't know everything that's going through, what these agents are going through. Because guess what? You weren't in fucking control of shit. You weren't. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 motherfuckers on one. So of course, his notion's gonna be skewed. He's trying to listen to everybody. He's on the ground. You know what you do? You wrap him up. But no. They flip him over. Watch Greycoat.
So stupid, bro.
No, what's stupid is the amount of people that it takes to swarm one motherfucker. Oh, but he's taller. Don't fucking matter. Dude, I know people who are 5 foot even that can topple a 6'6" dude with these. It's called body manipulation. And they show different holds for a reason for whenever you need to have somebody become compliant. At no point did he reach for his gun. How can he when he has people stacked on top of him? Watch the guy in the far right, though. And they're trying to say it was a cop-assisted suicide. Get the fuck out of here. He goes for the gun. And they're all pulling all certain different ways. They're pushing, they're pulling. So it's hard to get him to lie flat on his stomach so that they can cuff him. There's no way, there's no good way to go about this.
I can hear, you can hear gun.
Yep, you hear gun. Now they know he has a gun. Before that, the 2 minutes before all this that you were analyzing, they didn't know that they had a fucking gun on them. Again, everything you said, oh, he had a gun, was after all the footage came out, after all the takes came out, after you know about this. So yeah, you can say, oh, he had a gun. He was at a protest. Shouldn't have been there. First and Second Amendment violations right there. Go fuck yourself. Ah, shit. What was it? 243? Right here.
Like, you can hear gun.
I heard gun. He's got the gun.
He gets it out there. You can see it right here in his hand.
And this is the guy that starts it off. Warning, the following content is extremely graphic. If you are under 18, get the fuck out. YouTube, I've already done my due diligence. I've posted this multiple times. I've said this multiple times. This is graphic content. This is what happens afterwards. It's on social media. It's all over the place. Everybody else knows what the fuck happens.
Go.
This goes off.
Goes off because it's a fucking shitty ass 6 hour.
I agree with that. 6 hours is shit fucking model.
Hits the ground. And then they don't know that the gun went off behind them. They think it was him.
Which again, I get that point. But at the same time.
And then they don't know that the gun went off behind them. They think it was him. And they shoot. This is unfortunate. It's like a very unfortunate situation. But the reality is it's a clean shoot. And
clean shoot my ass, dude. That was murder. That was murder. They mag dumped into him. I cannot wait for his family to push $1 billion lawsuit against ICE. I fucking can't wait.
Guys, this is a lesson to be learned. Guys, don't resist the police while you're fucking armed.
Hey, here's a thought. If you're trying to help somebody, be armed in the event that they become aggressive. I know that's a fucked up take. But no. At no point was he resisting. No fucking point. This ain't a George Floyd situation. At no fucking point was he resisting. He had his phone in his right hand, left hand to shield his eyes. And you mean to tell me that he was resisting because he was trying to see so that he could comply? You're a fucking idiot, dude.
Okay? Do not resist the police when you're armed. Do not touch a police officer if you're armed. Ever. Ever. This was just bad judgment. As someone who's a concealed carry individual, I can't believe he did this. Like,
I can. Because he didn't fucking touch him.
This is stupidity on another level, bro. Does that mean he deserves to die? No. But I'll tell you this. This is...
No, that does that mean that he deserves to die? You fucking said that's a clean shoot. It's a legal shoot. That gives you justification for the cops to do what they just fucking did. You literally just said it was a clean fucking shoot. And that they were doing everything accordingly. No, dude. No. I don't give a fuck on your background at that point. You could have been Secret Service and said that shit. I'm telling you straightforward, you are fucking delusional.
It's a lawful shooting, 100%.
Fucking correct. It's an unlawful shooting. Unfucking lawful. They were, oh my God, dude. There are other areas of ways that they could have done. The guy who pulled the fucking gun off out of his holster, 100% is at fault for this. You grab the gun. You do not ever run away from it. If you see the gun, you restrain them. You take the holster off because it's not a belt loop holster. I could see that clear as day, especially in the other video that I'm going to show, which is ironic of the timing of things. It's a leather holster that goes down inside the fucking pants. It's not a belt loop holster. I actually have a belt loop holster. This is the holster that I'm talking about. This one. It can either just go straight down on the fucking pants, or I can fit a belt right through here. And you can see, here, let me go big screen. Oh my God, he's showing a holster. ICE, Border Patrol. Hey, come knock on the fucking door. I swear to God, y'all fucking do it. Be the last goddamn thing you did. And that's not a threat. That's a fucking promise. No, I wouldn't shoot you. I'd ask your purpose and then to tell you to get the fuck off the property. But no, you can see the teeth, the catch the belt. If I do choose to have a belt, I like this one very well, especially for the pistol that I have in my closet. But no, Myron is incorrect on about 90% of his fucking videos so far.
Just are not going
to back it up a little.
This is a lawful shooting 100%.
Incorrect. It was unlawful because 2 shots is enough. Mag dumping? No, dude. No.
They just are not going to go to jail. It was 100% reasonable. Because I'll tell you.
It was not reasonable.
Now this. If you're that agent and you're fucking trying to resist, you're trying to grab a guy and get him to stop, and then someone screams, gun, gun, gun. And then all of a sudden you hear a gunshot, you're going to shoot too. That's the reason.
If I'm grabbing the guy and I have him with my hands busy and I hear the shot, I'm going to roll to ensure that I'm not going to get hit. I'm not going to shoot. Anybody who says they will shoot, they're fucking stupid. Because again, the lack of training shows.
Reality. And that's what happened. Very important for you guys to understand. Was the shooting reasonable given the facts and circumstances known to the individual when he pulled the trigger and killed that individual? The answer is going to be yes.
No. Answer is no. Not 100%. 80 at max? No. Not 100%.
He had a gun. He resisted.
You didn't know he had a gun until it was pulled off of him. Try again.
He heard a gunshot.
He didn't resist. He was helping. It's not your fault. You can't see the angle. Your immediate assumption whenever they see an arm outstretched is, oh, he's touching him. No, he's not. And if anything, he's trying to create, a separation between the assaultor, the ICE agent, to the assaulted, the lady on the ground, so that the assaultor does not go and do any more fucking harm. It's what any reasonable, self-righteous man would do in this fucking situation. Badge and gun, set the fuck aside. I have intervened to keep people from being beaten based on their skin color. That was over in San Diego. And I was in uniform at that time. I'm driving back to base because I got done with the appointment. I see a family, a black family on the side. Officer comes up with his baton ready to start hitting. And guess what? That family was cuffed. I stepped in his way and I said, you hit them, go through me. Does that mean I get shot? No, because it means he can't do a fucking thing. Because there's a witness that just sees what's going on. Continuing on.
Doesn't matter if you heard the gunshot from an accidental discharge or someone giving it off. He could see him going like this in his right side. Right? All the agent was able to see was this basically.
Okay, so if he's doing this number, but his holster. So you're saying from here to here is the same? So here to here? Dude, do you know how far you got to reach from here to here? Not much, but it's a clear indication on what, part of the body the holster was at. Your logic's flawed, dude. 100% flawed. I'm sorry, no. You, as a former HSI agent, should know this. If you have a holster in the back, the rotation of your shoulder matters. It matters because you see how I have to rotate my shoulder further back in order to reach just the back of the small of my back if I had a holster back there versus to my side where there's not much strain on it. This dude's a fucking clown.
All right? He has other trained officers around him that said gun.
Poorly trained, mind you.
He heard a gunshot. He sees him going like this. He's going to shoot, bro.
So, by your logic, all right, let's back up here. So from here, you point to me the timestamp, okay? You point to me the timestamp of whenever he's doing this number, all right? Let me know if you're able to see his hands.
Oh, stupid, bro.
Like, you can see him moving on the ground where his right hand is, but he still has his phone in his right hand. And there goes something right there.
I can hear, like...
And now they know he has a gun. That's it. At no point in time was he reaching. At no point in time was he reaching. Very, very, very simple. He was not reaching for his firearm. Oh, but you don't know that. Yes, I do. You have an agent directly on top of his back. Across the top part of his back. Trying to get him on the ground. We got two others. One of them's even pistol whipping him. Trying to get him to forcibly comply. You're a fucking moron, dude. All right. Are expected to maintain proficiencies in legal development of firearms and investigative techniques throughout their tenure. All right, Mar. I'm going to call your continuing education realm into question here. Throughout your 6-year tenure, can you pull up the documentation certifying that you actually completed on your own volition and without verification to the use of AI tools to your actual certifications? That you continued your education? I'll wait. I said, fully seize the victim's gun before executing him. I'm muting this. Right here. And now this guy has it. And they start executing. Breaking. ICE agents attempt. All right, this is where I question their credibility and notion of continuing education into existence. ICE agents attempted to force their way into the Ecuadorian consulate in Minneapolis. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a foreign government facility protected under international law. In the video, a consulate staff member rushes to the door and clearly tells the agent he cannot enter. The agent responds, threatening him by saying, "If you touch me, I will take you." Which is valid because the staff member isn't advancing. He's standing in the doorway of a sovereign diplomatic building doing his job. The staff member then says, this is the consulate. This is a foreign government consulate. You cannot enter. He then says, okay, close the door. Bye. And locks it. Let's be clear about what just happened. ICE agents tried to unlawfully enter a foreign nation's consulate, then threatened to arrest a foreign government employee for stopping them. That is a serious violation of international law, diplomatic norms, and basic sovereignty. It's one thing to terrorize immigrants in the U.S. or immigrants inside the U.S. immigration courts. It's another to entirely threaten another country's citizens on their own sovereign ground. A foreign government sent armed agents to a U.S. consulate and tried to abduct Americans. The U.S. would treat it as a hostile act. But don't take the words for it.
This is the close Relax. Okay, relax. I did not enter. If you touch me, I will grab you. If you touch me, I will grab you. Okay. Okay, but don't touch me. Okay. You cannot enter. All right, so you cannot enter. This is the consulate. This is the foreign government consulate. You cannot enter. Right? I'm going to close the door, right? Yes. Right? Yes.
Sí, les estoy firmando.
No, pero ya tienen que poner. ¿Qué dices? Quisieron perseguir a las personas acá. Allí, por eso de
I guess this one. Yeah, they need better training. All right. Nurse Alex Peretti, who was killed days ago by an ICE agent at a rally in Minnesota, helped disabled veterans get back on their feet. And there's nothing more that needs to be added to the spirit of the man. And this to try saying this: Minnesota law prohibits carrying firearms at public demonstrations, rallies, or similar events. This excludes both open and concealed carry. Creator adds context. There is no prohibition in Minnesota statute that says you can't carry a firearm at a protest. Man, get fucking community noted, bitch. Moving on. I don't think Petty should have been shot, but if you carry and react the way he did, you will get shot 100% of the time. Cops get drawn on all the time. I know this, and I keep my hands far away from my holster. This is concealed carry weapon 101. The Second Amendment is a right and also a responsibility. He didn't act aggressively, though. He never drew. He never once drew his weapon. All right.
Legal observer was murdered. Could it be? I don't know. Maybe he pulled a firearm on federal officers. If you guys were unaware, that gets you shot.
Coming from somebody so well versed in resisting arrest and remaining alive, Joe, you shaved ape, that might happen were that to have been the case. But as you can plainly see, an ICE officer disarms Alex, and then this one fucking shoots him. We can replay it as many times as you fucking need. Joe, he wasn't brandishing his weapon. He didn't reach for it. He was disarmed and then murdered by the federal government. You fuck-ass conservatives should be all over the streets with this. We don't even need to get into your particular hypocrisy here, you goon. We all know that you lack the faculty, but we all wish that you and people like you had the ability to look at something objectively and say, oops, this is bad. I shouldn't be supporting this. This goes against everything I fucking stand for. But you have no fucking morals or scruples or anything redeemable to speak of.
And he's right.
I wasn't clear about this.
Interesting.
Hey, maybe I wasn't clear about this before, but let me go ahead and be very clear right now about why I don't give a fuck about Alex Peretti.
So you don't give a fuck about a registered intensive care unit nurse that worked at the Veteran Affairs that was murdered. by ICE. I get Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That was heartbreaking. Hey, Team F Joe, at Team F Joe, otherwise known as the older millennium. Ask yourself this question. Why is Charlie Kirk's wife parading around and smiling and going into public spotlight? I get people can grieve at, their own pace, but anytime anything's brought up about it, her demeanor changes immediately. But yeah, you don't give a fuck about somebody who helps vets. Whether or not he was carrying at the protest is a moot point. He was exercising two rights that this very vets he helped swore an oath to protect. And some had friends that even died in previous wars. But you don't give a fuck about somebody that helps vets. I just want to know where that stands. Where that stands. So let's see some of the comments. And these 10 people will ask questions, will be so outspoken. They just need to look in the mirror. Okay. Yeah. You need to eat your own fucking words. We'll revisit this here in a little while. Here we go.
Already, Trump and his goons are trying to destroy Alex Preddy's reputation with bullshit accusations.
My name is Frederick Pogue. I was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps Reserves.
Matt Gordon, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. I was in from 2002 to 2011, and I am a patient at the Syracuse VA.
Anthony Robinson, E5, United States Marine Corps.
My name is Curtis Register. I was a major in the United States Marine Corps, serving from 2011 to 2021. The Manchester VA system and its nurses helped save my life.
Kristen Cravens Hutton, United States Army Corporal.
David Hutton, Sergeant First Class, retired Army.
Melissa Corrigan, United States Navy, Petty Officer Second Class. I want to talk about Alex Preddy.
The man shot and killed by federal agents in Minneapolis this morning.
He was a nurse with the United States Department of Veterans Affairs.
Alex took pride in taking care of his veterans.
All of us are gutted by his death.
Whether you knew Alex Preddy or not, every veteran who knows VA nurses should be outraged by his killing.
And that's why we as veterans must speak up.
Because already Trump and his goons are trying to destroy Alex Preddy's reputation with bullshit accusations.
White House aide Stephen Miller is trying to smear Alex Preddy as a domestic terrorist.
I am enraged by the death of Alex Preddy. And let's call it what it is, the unwarranted killing of not just an American we swore to defend,
but of a man who dedicated his life to our care.
A life cut short by authoritarian brutality.
To every veteran.
To every American. Don't let Trump and Miller dishonor the life of Alex Preddy and his service to America's veterans.
They took his life. Don't let them take his name.
When you have a community like that that's compiled of nothing but veterans that are actively speaking out like this, the U.S. government and everybody else should be very, very fucking worried. I personally know some nurses that are they're going to be extremely timid and hesitant to even speak out about shit like this now. That was a fucking murder. Let's see. Where was it? Oh.
Tim's a...
No. Okay, so there are some that claim that Alex Pretty was fired. At the time of his death, Pretty held an active nursing license and was an intensive care nurse at the United States Department of Veteran Affairs Hospital in Minneapolis. He was a member of the American Federation of Government Employees. So no, he was not fired like a lot of people think to do. Like a lot of people think to proclaim. This fucking... I can't say the words because of stuff. This is worrisome. This is why I played Fuck 12, which I'll play again here if it warrants it. Just listen.
Arrest as many people that touch you as you want to. Those are the general orders all the way to the top. Everybody fucking gets it if they touch you. You hear what I'm saying? Less legals? We're going to look at shipping tractor trailer loads of that shit in here. So you catch what it's all about us now. It ain't about them. Professional, legal.
It's all about us. It ain't about them. No, you dumb motherfucker. It is about us. It's not about you. We as citizens still have rights. And trust me, there's a specific group you want to try to avoid to infringe on those rights.
Ethical, moral, you know what we're talking about. Legal, ethical, moral. You're on camera.
Legal, ethical, moral. So the shooting was unethical. The confiscation and the way that your agent acted was illegal. And it was unmorally justified on what they did. Got it.
But other than that, it's what we do. What city is it, Chief? Fucking ours is our fucking city.
Oh, it's your city. Cool. I cannot wait for Gregory Bonvino to get his due. Yep. Public image. Bovino's aggressive tactics have drawn controversy. You don't say. January 2026, photographs of Bovino wearing a green greatcoat elicit comments that the coat elicit a Nazi aesthetic from German media and social media users. And yes, it did mirror that of the SS. So, yeah. This is funny.
This tough guy, Kyle Wagner, Mr. Antifa himself.
I'm Kyle. I'm Antifa, and everybody in my DMs and calling me and blowing me up, I love all of you.
Well, I got some good news. It looks like Mr. Antifa now went into hiding. He's now on the run. The FBI is hunting him down. So what's the first thing he does? He leaves every single one of you behind. Take a look at this latest video of Kyle now looking for sympathy. Listen to his voice. Not so tough now, are you, Kyle? But take a look at the video, and then I'm going to come back and tell you exactly what I see.
The video I posted from the Alex Pretty murder, calling for direct action, calling for boots on the ground, calling for someone to stand against these murderers, was deemed inciting violence.
It was, because the use of language and what Antifa is known for, and the tactics that Antifa does. I'm all for, a stance against unjust law enforcement officers that do not do their job correctly, but in no way will I ever incite violence. Will I ever want violence incited? What he was doing was 100% calling to incite violence.
Basically on the run now. I have safe places and I have evacuations planned out. But as I've said a million times, I'm going to stay in this fight to the bitter end. I'm not going to run away, but I will need some help.
The children that are out there taking directions by morons like this, go home now. Go home now before, God forbid, you get hurt or somebody that you care about gets hurt because of you. ICE agents have a job to do, and the only reason why there was an influx of ICE agents is because of the corruption and the collusion of the $19 billion that have gone missing because of your disgusting governor and your incompetent mayor of Minneapolis, Mayor Jacob Fry. Not to mention your attorney general over there, Ellison, and we won a deportation immediately of Ilhan Omar. Whether you like it or not, those are the real enemies of the people of Minnesota. They have been robbing your moms and your dads for many, many years now. And the number one reason why your politicians over in Minnesota do not like ICE and don't like these illegal immigrants getting deported, because without the votes of those illegal immigrants, they don't have a shot of winning their elections.
He's right.
Now, I would say that if you are capable...
Because in blue cities and blue states, they don't like the fact of voter ID. Oh, it's oppressive to American citizens. Really? Because in all 50 states, you're required to have a driver's license to drive. That's law. It's not that hard to get.
Of turning your frustration and your anger towards those disgusting politicians? Stop lying to yourselves and making believe that those ICE agents are your enemies? And get those politicians removed immediately? On the very next day, this would be over. Instantaneously.
Yep, it would be over.
Those angry mobs, the ones that you were seeing on TV, will just vanish.
And disappear into thin air. All right. The Tennessee Holler. Watch, Tim, brother, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life. You're an 8-year-old boy playing with action figures now. Comic and Dave Smith savages Tim Pool for saying he's not a bootlicker because it's my boots.
Bootlicker for defending us. I'm like, no, you misunderstand. It's my boots. It's mine. I'm wearing the boot. I'm stomping on the ground.
Tim, brother, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is the gayest, cringiest shit I've ever seen. You are an 8-year-old boy playing with action figures right now, but you're an adult broadcasting this to hundreds of thousands of people. Like, this is just so goddamn... I mean, I don't know. Like, dude, this has crossed the line of, like, it's not even in political commentary anymore. You're, like, in some type of fetish right now. You're wearing the boot. I'm wearing the boot, and I'm crushing everybody. I crushed you, and I crushed you. Like, Tim, what the fuck are you doing right now, bro? You're spurging out. You're not crushing anyone, dude. You're sitting in a house playing video games, bro. I've seen your setup. You're not wearing any boots. You're not crushing anybody. You're not actually making any decisions. You're just simping for other men and feeling some sense of toughness somehow through it. You're not the boot, dude. You're the guy underneath the boot. So get out of this 8-year-old fantasy and let's have a conversation in reality about what's going on.
All right, you want a conversation about what's going on in reality? Let's go ahead and talk about what he said. He's wearing the boots that he's putting on the ground. Basically, brah, he's understanding the words that he said, and he's understanding what he voted for. Now, whether you like ICE's tactics or not, I do not like the over-aggressiveness, brah. See how fucking cringe that sounds, brah, Mr. Dave Smith? Stick to fucking comedy. Seriously. I didn't know who the fuck you were until you hit my timeline for some goddamn reason. I have no fucking clue who the hell you are. What, you have a following of almost 1 million, and I just now hear about you. You took the snippet of him saying, I'm stomping on the ground, all the other shit and all that and everything else. I bet you didn't watch that all the way through. And honestly, I don't give a shit about these other political commentators whatsoever. I just find it funny whenever there's something so egregiously out of pocket and I can run with it. Like this. It's trying to compare Tim to an 8-year-old playing with action figures. Nah, dude. If anything, he's doing prime content, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it because you can't stand it at the end of the day. Minnesota hearing turned since. Oh, shit.
I lost like 10 seconds there.
Okay, we'll give you 10 seconds.
Okay, my next question is, should Somalians who committed fraud be denaturalized and deported, Mr. Bayou?
Again,
Yes
I'm not
or
sure
no?
that's an appropriate question because the majority of Somali
So if you
Minnesotans
commit
are
fraud in
citizens.
this country and you are here from Somalia, you don't believe they should be denaturalized and deported. How
Again,
much
most-
fraud would it take for you to want to denaturalize and deport someone who committed fraud in this country? How much?
Again,
A
Ms.
billion?
Mace,
9 billion? 19 billion? What would it take for you?
most Somali Minnesotans
Hmm.
are citizens.
Right. And the ones that committed fraud, the question was, if you understand English, should be those who committed fraud, should they be denaturalized and deported? The Somalians who are here, the ones that can't speak English.
Yeah, so under U.S. law.
Okay,
the
my next
basis-
question for
Excuse me,
you
Can I please finish the
is,
question?
no, you can't because you're not answering the question. My next question is, this is yes or no. If you marry your brother and you commit immigration fraud, should you be denaturalized and deported? If you
Again,
commit immigration fraud, yes or no?
Again, that question seems really inappropriate. And if I can get
Well, you
back
can't
to
answer my question, so that's
he can't
probably
answer.
more inappropriate. Can you name one significant contribution to Minnesota from a Somali immigrant who can't speak English?
Absolutely, yes. But again, this is.
You didn't name one. All right, so my next questions are going to be for the Honorable Ms. Robbins. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I heard some discussion earlier about Al-Shabaab and the discovery that you believe some of this money that was defrauded the U.S. government went to Al-Shabaab. Is that correct? Did I hear that right?
Yes, it's been proven.
How much money are we talking about?
You know, we don't have an amount. So there's been specific cases where it's been charged where we have an amount, but then of the millions that go to Somali over the years in remittances, a portion of that we understand is taken as sort of a tax or corruption by Al-Shabaab when it enters the country.
Can you explain to us who Al-Shabaab is?
It's a terrorist organization in Somalia.
And they're affiliated with Al-Qaeda, is that right?
Terrorist organization in Somalia, and yet they're receiving money at the expense of the U.S. taxpayers from the illegals that are over Minnesota.
My understanding is they are.
I am on the DNI website where it tells me that since 2014, Al-Shabaab has killed more U.S. citizens than any other Al-Qaeda affiliate. And as of 2025, Al-Shabaab, this group is Al-Qaeda's wealthiest component. Can you believe that?
Yes.
And that American tax dollars through Minnesota, through Governor Tim Walz, who shamefully had to resign from his re-election the other day. Thank you to the young YouTuber Nick Shirley. This is the kind of thing that was happening in Minnesota. So I praise the Republicans who are here today from the Minnesota State Legislature exposing this fraud. And then, Ms. Robbins, when do you think Tim Walz became aware of the fraud?
I think he's been aware of it since the beginning. This was a huge issue in our state in the year he ran for governor, and the OLA reports came out, first identifying the child care fraud in March and April of 2019 when he was in the first months of his term.
Was Keith Ellison in on it too, knowledgeable, the Catholic turned Muslim guy in Minnesota?
Yes, they were all newly in office, and this was very public knowledge in Minnesota.
What role do you think Tim Walz and Keith Ellison played, his administration, in delaying investigations into the fraud?
So I've outlined several things where they...
She doesn't miss. The dude couldn't answer the question. She's like, fuck you, we're going here. And she's answering the question.
They stopped our ability to strengthen internal controls, and they also shut down the criminal investigations by the OIG and DHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back. I do have two articles, Mr. Chairman, that I would like to ask unanimous consent. This one on FoxNews.com, Minnesota fraud probe will expand to other states. And then on House.gov, legislators blast DHS for revelations it had contracts with feeding our future fraudsters.
Without objection to order, Chair.
Yeah, She don't miss, dude. Like, very simple. He doesn't miss. This guy hits the nail on the head. I'm gonna be right back. Woo. I want to go lying. Okay, I am back. I do apologize. Go.
Freddie did not deserve to die. The officer who shot him should be fired. Christine Noem should be fired. ICE needs to be reined in. Maybe you disagree with me on some of that. Sure. But honestly, I don't want to spend the next 3 years pausing and rewinding clips to do play-by-play on whose fault it is. Because there's a bigger question here. Do Democrats want humane deportations or no deportations at all? On January 13th of last year, while my city burned, Gavin Newsom committed $50 million of our taxpayer money to fight Trump's deportations. Before Trump was even in office. California gives free healthcare to 1.7 million illegal immigrants, while actual citizens can't afford theirs. Now, the mayor of Minneapolis says he will not enforce federal immigration law. The resistance started before the deportations. Every U.S. citizen killed by ICE has been in a Democrat-controlled area, and the red areas have more ICE arrests than the blue ones, where Democrats refuse to cooperate. 24% of ICE arrests happened in Texas. Around 1% happened in Minnesota. But no citizen has died in Texas. The chaos is only happening in blue states. Why is that? But you know what's not red or blue? The fact that both parties are controlled by corporations who rely on cheap, illegal labor for profits. That's why, despite us giving amnesty to 3 million illegal immigrants in 1986, we now have tens of millions more. Look, these people deserve to be treated humanely. I'm open to different solutions. I'm even willing to pay them to leave and land on their feet. But they aren't entitled to be in America. They aren't entitled to free healthcare when actual citizens can't afford theirs. They aren't entitled to stay here when the only difference between them and the millions of people waiting in line is that they were willing to cut the line. The vote said deport. The law said deport. The commander-in-chief said deport. Errors with deportations don't mean we don't do deportations. We don't need to abolish ICE. We need to discipline them. And if you want to oppose ICE, film them, sue them, vote against them. But for the love of God, resist them with your voice, not your body. Trump should rein in ICE because it's the right thing to do. But even if ICE executes perfectly, will Democrats start cooperating? Or is the goal not really humane deportations, but no deportations at all?
Ooh,
if you'd like to support this work...
Sorry, not going to listen to the other stuff. That's an interesting question. So ask yourself, are they actually in favor? Or do they just not want him at all? Damn it, I did it again. All right, the controlling of emotions part she mentions at the end. We've been screaming that front from the rooftops for the past year. This one was pretty interesting, and it actually plays into the psyop that the media likes to play.
Okay, and countries overseas have seen Alex's head exploding as ICE shoots him point blank, and we didn't see that footage. What do you mean? We saw when he was shot. No, we didn't see the graphic footage. We just saw the moment right before. They saw the moment after. And they're not showing that to us. That's because it's graphic content. It's gonna cause people to be upset. Kind of like they showed us graphic content of Charlie Kirk being murdered. That was never censored. You can still find that online. It's almost like they wanted us to see that so we would be outraged and our emotions would be pushed for change and to support Charlie. And if we had actually seen Alex's head explode and have access to that footage, then we would actually make a change and do something. We would be just as outraged. Yeah, it's almost like they didn't want us to do that. So are you saying the way our media is being controlled and the propaganda is changing our course of action based on how they're controlling our emotions in mass? Oh my God. It's almost like I couldn't have said it better myself. That's so crazy.
Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. They only want you to see what you're allowed to see. There's a song about that called Man in the Sky by Tom McDonald. Should really check it out. I even did a reaction video to it. But yeah. Benny Johnson. Left this hoax destroyed. New video shows Alex Preddy violently attacking federal officers and destroying a federal law enforcement vehicle. His firearm is fully visible in the footage. This video proves that he was not an innocent bystander or a legal observer. He was a violent agitator and a psychopath hell-bent on attacking the federal law enforcement. Another left-wing hoax destroyed. Here's the thing, Benny.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
Oh my God, he did what, like $30 worth of damage and flipped them off. Flipping off is a First Amendment protected activity, but damaging the vehicle, that's an arrestable offense.
Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
Hold on, they said that they could see this gun.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
Gun.
Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97%.
No gun here. We don't know if that's a pocket watch, a phone, or whatever.
Degree of accuracy.
Not yet. And
on the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36th and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground.
So I'm still, wait, there it is. There's the shot of the gun. Either here or here. I don't know.
During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat and he walks away.
Before they retreat and he walks away. So Benny Johnson claiming the leftist narrative hoax destroyed. But yet, here's an independent narrative that you cannot avoid. If they assaulted them in any capacity, right? As you say, his firearm fully visible in the footage. He was an agitator, a psychopath. When did he attack the actual officers in general? Because all he did was just bust their taillight off. They should have arrested him. They didn't.
The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Preddy was wearing on the day he was killed.
So where's his gun?
What appears to be a gun
Right there.
To be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Does he ever reach for it, though? No, he does not. He never once reached for it. But the thing about this, we don't know what happened before this footage. And here's my question. Why is it that this was released on the 28th and not beforehand? Huh?
Here, he continues to stand at the scene. On the day he was killed, the Department of Homeland Security claims Preddy, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, approached officers holding a handgun. That claim has been contradicted by analysis of bystander videos from multiple news investigations,
Not once
which
did he have his
concluded
gun
that
out.
Preddy was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
And even I did a breakdown analysis of it too. Literally destroyed Myron's point. All right. News media, even Fox News, is finally calling out this administration like they are here with Greg Bovino, and it's obvious that he's shocked they aren't eating the BS he has to say. Listen to his bullshit. Watch her. Just watch what she continues to say.
No evidence that he was perpetrating violence. And there's no evidence, unless you have it, and we'd love to see it if there is, that he was intending to massacre law enforcement, other than the fact that he was there and he had a gun lawfully.
He meant to be there beforehand. Again, Dana, he came there beforehand.
How do you know that?
For a reason.
How do you know that?
Because he was there.
But all he
Because
was doing
there.
was filming
It's
and
very
Because he was there and he was filming. How do you know he was meant to be there beforehand? That's my question. Not during. He was meant to be there during, beforehand. Do you have knowledge that we don't know? Like, was there a scheduled time? Did you have his manifesto? Did you have his itinerary? Did you have what his schedule looked like? Do you have any of that shit? No? Cool.
documenting it, which is legal. He was carrying a gun, which in Minneapolis
I didn't
is
say
legal.
it wasn't. And I didn't say it wasn't legal.
So
but
then what did he do that was
cannot
illegal?
Assault federal law enforcement when he does that. That's an active law enforcement crime
Where do you
scene
see in the video that
he
he was
decided to
assaulting?
enter into.
Where do you see in the video that he was assaulting law enforcement? Because from everything we have seen, law enforcement was assaulting him when he was there trying to help another individual.
Dana, law enforcement doesn't assault anyone. Follow the
law enforcement doesn't assault anyone, and you all saw that the dude aggressively pushed not one but two ladies, and then pushed him and pepper sprayed him when he was trying to help out the other lady from getting off the ground.
directions of law enforcement. Follow directions of law enforcement in an active crime scene.
Can you specify what the crime scene was? All right.
Chris,
regarding Christine Noem's bold-faced lies about murdered nurse Alex Preddy.
Christine Noem, what you just said about that man is deplorable. It's terrible. How dare you say those things about that man? When he was simply, we see the video, he was trying to help somebody. He wasn't there trying to kill a bunch of... What craziness are you talking about? This is just reckless. It's dangerous. It's just a nonsense. You look horrible. You should apologize immediately. How dare you say something so ridiculous about an ICU nurse, about a guy that was simply exercising his rights? You need to apologize. Or really what you need to do is just step down. You're just a really, really bad person.
Yep.
I mean, a really bad person.
Because of what she fucking said.
MAGA chuds to the front.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently.
Were you listening closely? I know that's hard for you. Now watch this.
But he just said that ICE agents don't assault, right? What, 2 videos ago he said that ICE agents don't assault? What's that?
Does that look vaguely close to what that lying woman just told you? Does that resemble anything she said? Does that look like that man was approaching federal officers with a 9mm, waving it around? Or does it look like he had his phone in his hand, getting bear maced in his fucking eyeballs? I would love for you to fucking tell me which is which. He had his hands up trying to pull a fucking woman off the ground who had been shoved onto the ice by other federal fucking agents. You fucking this is not hypothetical. This is not rhetorical. I want you to tell me if what you saw is what she said.
No, it is not what she said. The footage does not lie. I do not have to say a goddamn thing. Oh, but he should have been there. Where else is it going to go? Let's say he has the day off. And he's standing up for rights. Where else is he going to go? Is he going to leave and then get tackled and being charged with the crime of leaving the scene of a crime? But what's the fucking crime? Nobody can articulate that. I've yet to see it. All right.
To individuals is don't go impede law enforcement operations. That's not legal. You're breaking the law when you do that. It's also breaking the law to concealed carry in Minnesota without an ID on you.
The consequences for that is a $25 fine, not 5 shots in your back as you lay in the snow. Stack that with obstructing scene and also stack with resisting arrest. Lady was getting arrested. No, she was pushed to the ground and pepper spray. She was not being arrested. He was helping her up. And people just destroyed that narrative. Awesome. Okay, Cash. I got some questions. Why haven't you done a fucking thing that y'all set out you were going to do? What the fuck has the FBI been doing?
I mean, thousands of people are marching through Minneapolis. They are targeting the Border Patrol. I mean, it feels like the rhetoric and the protesting is only ramping up. What is your advice to the people right now who are outraged that this is a second killing at the hands of Border Patrol in 2 weeks?
As Christy said, you cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple. You don't.
It's very simple. You can. The Second Amendment is absolutely what you're allowed and not allowed to do on top of what the laws say. It's very clear. So if you can't bring that there, then what the fuck was this?
Don't have that right to break the law and incite violence.
He wasn't inciting and he wasn't breaking the law. He was helping a woman off the ground, and your ICE agents overreacted over aggressively.
We will, of course, always protect your First Amendment speech. And if you peacefully protest, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you have seen a trend here, not just in Minnesota, but across the country, in these protests turning into violent scenarios.
Because your ICE agents are being over aggressive. It's simple. If they do not overstep the bounds, do not become over aggressive. Being aggressive is one thing. Like, aggressive in, you know, handling people to arrest them. That's where it's warranted. The over aggressiveness is not where it's warranted. That's when it becomes, you know, dangerous and violent.
And people attacking law enforcement. That's when you go over the line, and that's when law enforcement steps in.
So when is it over the line for law enforcement? Huh, Cash? As the nation's top cop, as the FBI director. So when is it that law enforcement oversteps that line? Is it whenever they shoot and kill a foreign diplomat, as your ICE agents try to get access into a consulate? Or is it whenever they, you know, think a vet's walking down the side of the road and they open fire at him? Or, you know, that vet's walking down the side of the road, minding his own fucking business. They think he's an illegal, and they try to arrest him, and he defends himself, and they kill him. Is that overstepping, you know, is that an overstep? I seriously would love for a fucking a review and analysis is what you've fucking done so far. I don't think you've been doing a damn good job. All right, Joker. Your fellow vet, we're kind of in a mutual stance. I don't agree with everything you say, but here's the second thing. Number two, I agree with one, and I agree with three. The second point on there, he wasn't attacking ICE. He wasn't attacking ICE officials on the day of his death. And number three, that also applies to the cops and the officials as well. They're still bound by the Constitution, which has federal rules and regulations and laws in there. They have to follow it. You, as a former MP, know this. So, I agree with your take, but the image I wholeheartedly disagree with. Just simple. And here's the thing. If I'm profiled by any chance because I hadn't shaved and I let it grow out, or, you know, anything of that nature, and I get approached, I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to just straight up ignore ICE. And wait for them to make their fucking move on me. Because I'm going to tell them I have nothing to say to you. This is the part where the dude said, you just need to resign. Listen.
Approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
You didn't know that it was a handgun until they disarmed him and he was killed unjustly.
The officers attempted to disarm this individual.
No, your officers aggressively pepper sprayed him and tackled him to the ground. Next.
But the armed suspect reacted violently.
Fearing for his life, he tried to get away from the situation, but your agents would not allow him to do so. And also doing so, whenever you want to say he assaulted the ICE agents, he was also trying to help a lady up that your ICE agents aggressively and over-aggressively shoved to the ground. The first one, luckily, she didn't fall.
For his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
It These were reactionary shots, not defensive shots, because the gun in question had negligently discharged because it was a piece of shit SIG, Sig Sauer, that fired without even being the trigger pulled, because an agent who doesn't have the necessary training, disarmed the gun, didn't bother to take and unchamber the fucking weapon, ran with it.
Medics were on the scene immediately.
No, they weren't. No, the fuck they were not.
And attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at
because they mag dumped into his fucking back and also shot him in the head.
the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds.
At most 10 additional rounds, so 20 in total. That's not illegal either.
He also had no ID. This looks
So no ID equals death now?
like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
So maximum damage to individuals and kill law enforcement. 9mm ball, where you have agents that have rifles, bulletproof glass, bulletproof doors, as well as level 4 and 5 plates. 9mm's not going through that shit, especially ball. It's not going through. Sorry, narrative's destroyed there.
About hundreds of protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including...
Yeah. All right. Kristi Noem has repeated the claim that Alex Preddy approached ICE and Border Patrol officers with a gun during the Minneapolis operation. What she hasn't acknowledged is that, according to the local officials, Preddy was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. She also leaves out that available bystander video doesn't clearly show him brandishing or holstering the weapon. At that time, federal officers fired. Crucially, Preddy was fatally shot after he no longer appeared to be armed, raising serious questions about whether defensive force was justified. And here's her argument being completely dismantled. And you can see the guy pistol whipping him too. All right. There we go. There we go.
I know is that he's
Alex Preddy was a good help, good neighbor, a helper, and a registered nurse. Okay. Then he brandished a gun while impeding law enforcement. A good story can always end poorly with simple choices. There's zero evidence or witness statements that the victim brandished a firearm in any way. Sir, please point to me a single piece of video where he brandishes a gun. I think you know I'm a straight shooter as a journalist. The facts are critical here, and this guy tried doing that. All right, cool. We do not require a video. We have an official statement from DHS, which has not been disproven. And Veritas Games. Or you dropped on your fucking head. The video disproves it, you actual clown. Like, seriously. All right, and next one. Named violent assassin attempt to murder federal agents or government. So please tell me where the gun's being brandished. Please fucking show me where the gun that we now know, which was here, is being brandished. and they kill him. I'm going to end on this note. If you're going to record, do not have it in your hands. Because now they're going to mistake this as a firearm. Have some type of device where it can be set like such. Like a body cam. Or get a GoPro. If you carry and you are interacting with law enforcement, let them know. I'm not joking in this matter. Let them know the situation and let them know, hey, I am armed. I'm carrying legally. I'm exercising my rights. Nobody should die while exercising their rights. Nobody. And I'm going to be 100% transparent and 100% honest. It's literally going to take one veteran who is a legal resident or legal resident of this country to be killed at the hands of ICE or a powder keg to explode. Because I'm not even joking. If I ever catch wind of that, the fallout for it is going to be severe. I'm not going to be doing these weekly. This will be sporadic. So just bear that in mind. Other than that, thank y'all for tuning in. And whenever I launch another one, I'll see y'all then. And one more statement that I want to make. Mr. Bovino, Kristi Noem, everybody that's associated with ICE that's overexerting their authority, and everybody that's trying to portray like you're the good guys, fuck you. I support law enforcement wholeheartedly, but I will not support nor condone illegal activities and unjust and over-aggressive assholes who act like a Gestapo. Bovino, I just called your group a Gestapo. Come after me, you piece of fucking trash. I'll be fucking waiting. Or you too fucking scared and too cowardly to come knock on my goddamn door. I'm in your system. I'm in your database. You know where the fuck I live. So to all the federal agents out there and anybody who's fucking watching, because I can still see at least one over on YouTube, probably my little fucking undercover FBI agent that's still watching. Everybody who's doing their job unjustly, go fuck yourself. And everybody who does their job correctly, I thank you. But those who do it unjustly, get rid of your shield and gun. On that, have a good one.